You know, the bright side of having a small EFAP is that I could probably upload it and make it go live in like 3 hours.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it would be
That was
like
a thought.
it'd be like 2-hour boy, so that's never been done before in the history of the fappage. Assuming, of course, everything
It's
goes well.
it's strange to think about. It's strange to think about. But it's a strange day, so that's okay. But sometimes a strange day is okay. Sometimes we all need those strange, weird days.
There it is. It's live. All right. Hello.
All right.
Hello,
Right.
EFAP
Hello,
audience.
everyone.
Howdy doody.
How are you?
Hi.
Where is
Hello.
the video? Exactly. Already. But that's okay, because I said, if you remember, every time I talked about it, I was like, unless something goes wrong, something went wrong. Like, very wrong. We are here. I like that you're saying short man bad because they read the title, but it's okay. You guys are gonna be more than okay with it, considering what we got cooking. We just gotta, we'll get there, right? So, hello everybody.
Hi, everyone.
We're at a weird point. This EFAP releasing, because we're like right between a bunch of interesting big things happening. Right now, it's like the calm before the storm, or as Gandalf would say, the deep breath before, and then whatever he says.
The dip.
I can't remember what he said. It's about.
duck?
He says deep. That's why everything's calm and chill in Minas Tirith, because he says the deep breath before they all kill us, or something like that. It's a better line
Something like
than
that.
but
I think
yeah.
so.
The
He
plunge.
says it's, well, in his voice, it sounds really good. Not
Yeah,
that your
everyone in
voice
chat
isn't
knows what I'm talking
good,
about. The
but,
plunge. All right. Well,
Gandalf's quite the plunger.
it's welcome to EFAP episode 12261, I believe. Yes, the previous episode was the Soma one. That went out.
Oh yeah, of course. That's right.
Finally,
yes.
EFAP got to discuss it, and we will be referencing it permanently in future. Isn't that wonderful? All three of us.
Yeah, now we can just talk
Wow.
about it. And if you haven't played the game, then that's too bad. Like,
That
in
is
my
too bad.
case,
For
where
you.
nobody was allowed to talk about it.
That's just how it goes. But yeah, gradually over time, between the three of us, we fill in our little what we need to play / watch lists.
Work in progress always.
And currently, me and Frankie got to fill the God of War Valhalla DLC. That's the next thing. That,
Yeah.
Have you guys not touched that yet? Have you not played it?
No, I've played a few hours, but I would have liked to have played a lot more than that.
Yeah, I've played.
Oh, that's good to hear.
2 streams that were 3 hours each, and that is incredibly short considering what I would like to play, because God of War's pretty fun. But yeah, you know, it's been a thing, which I mean, that's part of today's goal with this stream. Which, by the way, EFAP chat, you ready? You need to be sitting down for this. This is gonna be a 2-hour stream. Okay, that's the cap. We're gonna be stopping at 2 hours. I'm so sorry. They're all gonna go nuts in a second, right? They just need to be sitting down, like I said, and you'll be fine before you listen to that information. But no chat on screen? Oh, that's a good point. So sorry.
We gotta have the chat on the screen. If we don't have the chat on the screen, then how?
Well, because you know that
what
future generations are gonna be like, there was no chat for this one. You guys are lying.
We're adding to the annals of history. That's right.
They are right there. They have opinions. They're obviously very happy to hear that this is a 2-hour stream. But anyway,
people have been asking for a long time. Please, it's shorter. Please, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't keep up with all of it.
Ridiculous.
Can't bear the thought of anything more than 2 hours. So really, I mean, this is perfect that you've said this.
There you go. Chat's on screen now. You guys are happy. That's all you wanted. Okay, so here's what's been going on, right? There's this project. There was an idea that we could bring together a group of remarkable people. I can't remember the quote after that. That's as far as I can go. But anyway.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen reference, right? That's what that's from?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Sean Connery said that.
Yes, beastly
before
movie.
Before he quit acting.
So, yeah, there was an idea, a very good idea, of the 20th anniversary of the release of Return of the King is, like, today. Hence Gary's stream tomorrow that he does.
Oh, is it today?
Yes.
It's today.
This actual day. Wow.
As far as I'm aware,
what else? Oh, Wow, that rejuvenates my soul.
Yes. So you
20
consider
years.
that, right? And it's like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we did a thing of doing EFAP movies, Lord of the Rings? And it's like, but why would you do that? You've already done that. And it's like, well, we did, but there was a sentiment at the time that when we released them, they were like, wait, you guys are just making drug jokes. And we were
We
like,
were
yeah.
just enjoying ourselves.
We were having loads of fun
immensely.
because we love Lord of the Rings. And then he was like, "Oh, I was just hoping you maybe would talk about like some other stuff, like how good it is." And we were like, "Oh, yeah, there was some stuff in there, I think, but gradually over time, I was like, yeah, we could always just do it again because I quite like Lord of the Rings. I'm always happy to watch it again.
And plus, that was like 4 years ago, something like that. It was a long time ago.
It was a while ago, so it was like
It was really good. Oh,
and
it's a classic, certified hood classic.
It was just 3 lads in that one. So it's like we could always do it again, and we could always have more people, and we could talk about things that are different, and so we were like, you know what? Why don't we do it? Why don't we watch the trilogy, record it, and provide you guys a different kind of experience? Now, that's where the problems began. You see,
we went to watch The Lord of the Rings, and that's where the problems began.
I knew, as did Fringin' Rags, that when you want to do recording of 3 movies, 2 of which are 3.5 hours, and 1 is 4 hours, that isn't going to be straightforward. There are a lot of people we would like to have there who, at best, can offer you 2 hours per week. That's when they're really available. And you're like, oh, well, that's not going to make any sense or work at all. Luckily, we got Fellowship done really quite sleekly. Like, it was like, oh, we're in and out, and everyone was, well, I say everyone was there. You'll find when you see it, there's some weird things that happen, but that's okay. You get that one, and then it's like, okay, so 1 down. 2 Towers was a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know exactly how to summarize it, but it's a combination of people not being able to show up, people being able to show up but not for very long, and files getting corrupted when trying to fucking record it.
That's a very kind way to put it. People not being able to show up. That's
yeah.
I like
so
it.
it got very garbled, and putting all of the pieces of it together was difficult. And then
should we say what because we started watching it,
mm-hmm.
and then we had the recording issue, and then someone had to leave, so we couldn't finish part of it, so we had to come back and do all the re-recordings on different occasions, which may or may not explain who is or isn't there.
Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that there's strange little telltale signs in terms of the continuity.
Well, no, what are you talking about? It's broadly immaculately put together.
Yes,
I'd say if we hadn't said anything, nobody would have noticed that it's multiple recordings stitched together.
I don't know what I meant. Yes, 100%. That's the case. So yeah, you get that, and then Return of the King was done. I would call it desperately. It was basically like we had 1 slot that might work for recording Return of the King, and if we couldn't make it, then the project was never going to be able to be done on time. It was just done so. And luckily enough, we were able to record Return of the King. But this was already cutting us incredibly close, and it was not looking good in terms of possibilities. And so we start work on it. And as time's going on, the clock's ticking down, and other projects coming up in terms of just things to do, and that time of that expectation of releasing it today, it was that window's getting shorter and shorter. And I don't know if you guys know, but they're like longer than normal movies. So like you get a normal EFAP movies recording, you can have an expectation of how long it'll take to edit. Lord of the Rings are like triple that, and you might think, well, wouldn't it be double? It's like no, because it's double in length, but it's also like way more effort for editing, because unlike crappy clown movies or movies that are good but that are straightforward, there's a lot less editing. And it's something that me and Fringy found as we were working on it, that we'd be like, there we go, there's a huge amount of effort I just did today, and all day, and normally that would have produced maybe like a completed thing, but it's like, no, not even like a third. And it's like, this is, and you look at the old calendar, and you're like, I'm not liking this. And so started pulling in all dayers and all nighters, all timers,
Yep.
and cranking out at an efficiency level I don't think I've done since the Snyder Cut. I assume Fring is similar somewhat. At least not.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Unless it's
The
going to come up
Snyder
again,
Cut.
probably, because we're going to talk about Rebel
Oh
Moon.
God,
briefly,
you're right.
but
Because oh,
just non-stop clicking, moving, rewatching, copyright protecting, all of the things you could ever imagine. And this thing is done by, essentially, I've done, like I was doing like Fellowship, and Fringy was on Return of the King, and then we were like, we're going to meet in the middle, depending on how fast and how well everything's going. And it was funny, I say it was funny, it was traumatic, but funny in retrospect.
I mean, hey, look, alright. I used to think my life was a tragedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
now I realized it's a tragedy. So
yeah,
legit, if you
it still is.
Look at any of the stream appearances that I had, including the Fringy's stream of God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, all we talk about is how, like, can't stay too long. I gotta get back to editing.
That's too much work to do.
It's not a meme. It's you literally hit off stream and like unlist stream and then just pull up fucking Vegas and start clicking.
The sun. I miss her.
Yes.
I miss the sun. I miss her glow.
It's been
I miss her radiant light.
Do people normally use feminine pronouns with a sun?
I don't think so.
I don't
Usually
think so.
feminine pronouns for the moon.
Yeah.
Luna, yeah.
Well, sorry, he. I missed the sun's radiant light. Thank you, sun.
The sun's just giving you a thumbs up.
You.
That's okay, Friggy. Anyway, so Fellowship
I know you have to edit the EFAP movies.
I'd help you, but my fingers are too big.
I would help you, except I'm a massive ball of nuclear fusion.
Going to sleep after spending like over 24 hours straight working on editing. It feels like in The Simpsons went home, and you remember when he was driving home from work? And it transports into like an illustrated world. You remember that gag where his car turns into a bed, and then he flies past the moon, and the moon's smiling down on him like, yeah, get some sleep, Homer. Get some sleep, buddy. But because he was driving, he crashed through like a fence and had it stuck to his car.
It's funny as shit. Yeah, so this is the thing. We're keeping each other updated. I'm like, Fellowship's, it's looking pretty good. And then it's like, you have this realization of, it is, in terms of you get to the end and you've done the majority of the context clips and a decent amount of animations and visual references. And then it's like, oh, fuck, I haven't done any copyright protection. And so then you go through doing all of that and trying to add a bit more, and then just like, I was supposed to do 2 towers as well. We've got like 2 days left. And then you're like, yeah, Return of the King's looking almost finished, but 2 towers, here we go. And so we realized, like, in raw numbers, that even if we were to work non-stop, the 2 towers, like, it would be physically impossible to complete the timeline.
Yeah, it was grim.
And so I sent a message out to 2 editors. One of them was very much unavailable due to life, and then the other one was like, yeah, I could be enslaved for basically 20 hours straight. And so I was like,
hooray.
Cool. And so Das Bullshit just comes into the call, and I provide him like a section of 2 towers that's like 50 minutes long, and just tell him, cut it up as best you can, and then I will cover it with copyright. And it was just a work call where me, Friggy, and Das would like take it in turns to take like sleep and come back and just continue editing. It was a fucking nightmare. But like, all of it was to get it out today. That was the point.
Mm-hmm.
It was this,
and my God,
horrifying deadline. And so we're just chipping away and redrafting as best as possible, and then it literally comes down to particular hours. I calculated like with how long it would take to render and upload, that the latest to be able to release it on time for you guys would be like a 7 a.m. I have to hit upload by 7 a.m. my time, so it could release in theory by like 6 p.m., 7 p.m., something like that. And the thing is, why today? It's the anniversary of Return of the King releasing. That's why it was.
Hooray!
And I mean, you know, there's a couple other reasons, right? Saturday being the EFAP day, it's a good slot. It would be nice to have something to show you guys, considering the last two streams of EFAP I think have been missed now, and I guess you could include this one. But, you know, don't worry. There's all kinds of efforts. I'll explain all of what's coming for the future of EFAP. I think you guys are going to be happy. I've alluded to this in the comments of the previous, the Soma EFAP. So yeah, you have all of that in mind, and you start to actually look at what's left and what needs to be done and how many hours remain, and it's like, this is only going to work by being, like, slightly late, if at all. And so there is a section that's a bit rushed, but, like, it's in the form just of being able to be released. The whole thing is just being released. And so Fellowship goes up, and it's fine. Like, according to YouTube, it's like, yep, that's cool. I haven't even tested Two Towers, I didn't get to. But Return of the King goes up, and it's like, ooh, copyright. And it's like, oh, on what? And, you know, it's a couple of scenes that, and I think you guys are going to really like Fringy's editing. Unfortunately, the bitches over at YouTube Botland are like, nah, that's too much visual right there, so you got to do something about that. And the thing about YouTube, when you upload copyright, is that it only tells you one of the problems. It never tells you all of them. So I see Little Platoon complaining about this constantly on Twitter, because I know the pain too. We try not to tell you guys about it actively. We'll just tell you at the end of the project how much it was a nightmare. That's the most we'll say. But I don't say, like, as it's going, or like a whole month of uploading while I'm working on something else, just trying to get a previous thing fucking working. It's horrible.
And it's, you know, it's not fun because there's a reason why you want to get those clips in there. You want to let the big, great moments play out at as much length as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then having to put a big old copyright filter over it is like, damn.
Yeah, so
oh, well.
I was trimming it on the YouTube side, but then on the actual, like, editing stuff, I would just have to put the copyright shield over it. So you have, like, Aragorn drawing Anduril, and it's like, oh, that's really awesome. Time to put the copyright shield on it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And what started happening was that would be hit, and it's like let's say an 8-second thing, which I thought was a bit curious, but I was like, oh, okay, fine, you know, that's it's a pretty long clip, I guess. Then the next one would be 7 seconds, and it's like, okay, I feel like I've used Lord of the Rings clips before that are that long, but okay, fine. And you'd be like, I don't know, when the Witch King arrives or something like that, and I would have to go put a shield on it and unfortunately cover up, you know, half the scene, or half the clip, whatever, and it's just like, not fun. And you keep trimming, and YouTube just keeps saying, like, yep, this one's bad as well, this one's no good, this one's no good, and it's like, okay. And then eventually, I posted a screenshot in the chat that me, Frankie, and Das had, and it was like, it clips them in at 5 seconds. I was like, 5? Really? Like, I don't even, at that point, it's going to be clipping all kinds of things. And then I check with Fellowship, and I don't understand. I have 7 and 8 second clips in Fellowship. How did that get past copyright?
Why are you so mean to me, you know?
Yeah,
It's messed up this portion.
And I had a theory, but I don't know anymore in terms of actually, like, figuring this out. But I thought it was whenever YouTube, because a lot of people in chat have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. When you upload a video and you trim it from a copyright claim, it seems to reset the bot coverage, right? It's just like, okay, you trimmed that out, good boy. Now I'm going to check the video again to make sure. And you're like, yeah, okay. And for some reason, after a trim, it seems to be even harsher. Like, it'll be like, we found this 8-second clip, you're going to have to change it. And then after the 8-second one, it's like, we found this fucking 1-second clip, you have to change it. It's like, jeez, I gotta
It's almost like, well, you were willing to get rid of the 8-second one, so
yeah.
Now we're now we're gonna get rid of all of them.
So, and these were all video claims, they weren't audio related, or, you know, I guess you could say they are. A lot of it will be that the clip's audio is there, but it'll also cross into us talking audio, so it's definitely the visual that it's very upset by. Like I said, that's what the copyright shield is for on EFAP movies. It defends us from this insane shit. So you have that, and all the trimmings are happening, and all the extra filter effects are going while I'm still trying to finish up Two Towers and then bind all of it together. So by the time the trilogy is able to be rendered as one big thing, at the same time we've got the problem of Return of the King still hasn't been cleared yet, but Fellowship was. It was like, so I guess I'll just try. It was like a Hail Mary, right? Upload it, and if it gets hit with copyright, so be it. And then we talked about for a while whether or not, if it were copyrighted, if the nature is that it can't be monetized but it can be seen, then maybe just that would be it.
Try and get it out.
Which is annoying in the sense that we did all that effort with the copyright shield being added as a bonus. To explain, if we uploaded no copyright shield, the video would be given a strike, possibly more than one too, because it would be more than one movie. If you show enough of a movie, like changed in any way, YouTube will know the difference. Like it's kind of funny how that works. It seems the bots do have an idea of when you're trying to do something transformative versus when you're trying to steal. Like it does know the difference. But at the same time, it's a complete cunt when it comes to fixing copyright, because it doesn't tell you much of anything. In any case, you can't just upload it cleanly is what I'm saying, right? But then there's a certain amount of copyright shielding you can put on that will then give you claims, but at the same time we could play you full clips, in this blender for like even 10 seconds probably, and we'd still be at the point of getting claimed, but at the same time it wouldn't make a difference at that point. So it's like annoying if we were to release it that way, that we'd still have a bunch of shielding in there that's not necessary. But at the same time, it would have been really nice if we could get that out, especially on the anniversary. You guys would have loved it. It would have been real fun. And so we spoke to Critical Drinker, who actually gave me a set of ideas and points of view that we're going to be implementing, because this story has a bit of one last twist. One really fucking lame twist.
There's one... hey, look, alright, it's funny.
It's funny.
It's fucking funny.
So
It's pretty funny.
We at the point that Drinker explains probably a lot of the pluses and cons, that some of them I didn't even think about at all. And we concluded, you know what, we'll release it, and it won't be monetized, and that's okay. It's going to be really fun.
We can get it out.
Yeah,
we can get it out.
It's going to be the kind of thing that you guys will. I mean, and maybe in a sense, as time goes on, it won't matter. It'll just be like, it was a really awesome event. That's the most important thing. But like again, yeah, it makes sense to say like one of the ideas Drinker had was you could release it, and then you could take pieces out of it, where like say we have a big discussion about Boromir as a character, or the production design and how they use force perspective, or the implementation of CG, and you could take these out and make them smaller videos, so that not only are there people in the audience who aren't the watchers of the long, which I don't know why they're here, but that's okay. We love you too. And they can check out those instead. Like smaller ones. And he said you could probably monetize those. So it makes it so that it's not all that effort, the weeks, the constant editing doesn't go to, zero, what would the word be, reimbursement, or just payment for labor.
It won't be all for naught.
Well, it wouldn't be all for naught in a spiritual sense, I suppose, as you're thinking about like the nature of celebration and how much we know you guys would have loved it if it was out today. But it's that we could also maybe make a little bit of money from it, which would be nice, because I've got to pay a decent amount to a decent amount of people who helped create this thing, and so it'd be nice if the video itself could help in that regard. But it's fine, and it was on point for like, we will get it out today. You'd be watching it right now, if not for the fact. Actually, no, you wouldn't, because the upload was still at 95% when I woke up. So
okay, so. Well, but it could have been done
almost,
by the
yeah,
deadline that we
almost.
set for ourselves of how late could it be.
Yeah, the upload would probably finish in half an hour and then process in an hour, so it would be...
Yeah, and so it'd be going in 2 hours.
A little bit later than I would have liked, but I think we would have committed to it, yeah.
Yes, we would have.
So you'd be watching it in about an hour from now. It would have been... And it would have been really fucking fun, okay?
It would have been fun, damn it. It was really fun to watch, and we had a lot of fun things to say.
There's one more twist to this story, guys, alright?
We were settled, the decision was done, and it made a lot of sense, and so I was like, right, it's uploading, I don't want to fuck around with basically anything, and I'm going to be heading to sleep relatively soon to make sure I'm awake for it. And so I booted up. I'm like, I'll watch the first few minutes. Why not? So, the first few minutes are, we introduce You can see who's there. We're talking about what we're going to be getting up to. And then, the conversation turns quite quickly to that of talking about Lord of Ring Gollum. Which is normal.
What? Why
fine.
would we?
That's fine.
Why? Oh,
Right.
the alternate universe. Yeah.
And so, appropriate visuals appear for Lord of Ring Gollum. Talking about how funny it is, how silly it all is, and what a game that is. Now, when working on things in timelines, sometimes you put clips in places, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to use this clip, but I might use it further down the timeline, actually. So instead of deleting, you push it down. And then you work on other things. And so then sometimes you don't complete that thought, or rather that process. So what you end up with is we go Lord of Ring Gollum, game, terrible, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other, and visuals that are appropriate. And then let us start Lord of the Rings. And you see the Lord of the Rings and the clip, and then here we go, this is gonna be great. And then it's like the forging of the ground. It's like, oh, what do you guys think about like this visual, how they introduced Lord of the Rings, blah, blah, blah. And instead of seeing the film, you just see Metal as J Longbone playing Gollum for 5 minutes. That's all you see in front of you when you're listening to everyone talk about Lord of the Rings and watching it. And I'll admit, it was funny.
What? The thought was entertained as well. Of hey, man, it could be really funny, but it goes for too long. It's too long.
Originally, I thought it was intentional, and then it just kept going and going, and I'm like, oh god, no!
And it's like, why is this here? And it's like, because I left it on the timeline. I didn't fucking delete it. I forgot.
Oh no!
What happened is we were watching it was just like a pretty quick, just 30 seconds of just very quickly getting to. We can't do it. We got
it was this invisible borderline it crossed, and we all were like, this can't go out.
This is unacceptable.
It is so
unacceptable.
It is
to have our big grand 20th anniversary Lord of the Rings coverage when we're talking about these amazing films with like 50 seconds of Gollum taint at the first like 5 minutes.
Don't say Gollum taint, please don't say that.
Taint. Well, I was gonna say, why did you say 50 seconds? It was way more than that. It was like, I think accurately like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or something. It was ridiculous because I thought it was.
It was.
I was hoping it would be like 30 seconds, but no, it goes on for really long, and it's incredibly awkward as a viewer because you're clearly listening to jokes being made and references to Lord of the Rings and everything, and the movie you can hear it, but then you're just watching Metal climb a wall as Gollum, and you're like, why? Like, what's? I don't understand.
Metal didn't even want to do it.
It's
there he is.
It was funny, but it was definitely Joker. Like it was like, so that's it. We can't even release it because it's completely fucked, and it's fucked because that little gremlin is on the screen from the stupid video game, and
that
it's like
little gremlin.
One last time, Gollum ruins Lord of the Rings.
He managed to do it again. The absolute mad lad somehow found a way.
And hence I used to think my life was a tragedy, but now I realize it's a comedy. That is hilarious. Gollum ruined it.
Infinite hilarity to be found in the fact that, like, we had this big conversation, lasted for ages, figuring out the best course of action, then Gollum just slaps in and says, nah.
Hello! He's just there.
Yeah.
He got the final say, and as people are saying,
glitching.
He won the argument. He really did.
He did win the argument. Yeah, he changed our plans for
it was Gollum all along.
The real Gollum role-playing game that we all needed. Him arguing with himself.
It was so sad. It was, but at the same time,
it was because we just made it.
I was like, well, because I can go on the timeline, click that clip, hit delete, and that's it. That's done. Now it's gone. It's safe. It's all right. But that means a new render and a new re-upload, and that means it would push it well past the release time. And so you might think, well, what about Sunday? Can't do Sunday.
What about Sunday?
I'm doing the stream with Gary to celebrate Lord of the Rings. It wouldn't make any fucking sense to stream, or rather premiere, celebrating. So it's like Monday?
You wouldn't want to split up everyone like that, yeah.
Monday, at that point, it's just like, well, what's the best of the weekdays? And we figure it'll be Wednesday is the best. And it gives me enough time to now go through and basically copyright protected to hell and back. The most you're probably going to see of any Lord of the Rings clip is about 3 to 4 seconds, cleanly. Everything else will have coverage on it. Hopefully it won't destroy your viewing experience, but that it's the only way to consistently get this thing out in a properly executable way. And I mean, it protects it in future, and it means that it will have a better chance of being given reach, if you know what I mean. Which will be nice, because me and Vringy have worked excessively and ridiculously on this thing for many, many, many days, with a bit of help there from Das and Wolf as well.
In the final hour, yeah.
It's got some bells and whistles in it. It's got some surprises I think you guys are going to really like. It's got some, bits and bobs.
I think you guys are going to love it.
It's just that, it's more than likely going to be Wednesday. I don't see why it would be stopped by then, but I'll once again add the caveat.
Sure, something will come up, but
assuming things don't go horribly wrong. Like that's. But
think of it this way. Think of it as you get a little EFAP now, which is fun. It's a short boy, but that's all right. These guys have been working insanely hard on getting this out. It's been nuts. You can't even imagine. But consider that means you get a little midweek treat. And I say little, but it ain't
one,
little.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
little.
I want to make sure it's
one.
understood. This is an 8-hour, 7 hour and 50 minutes EFAP movies, and
this is a big
huge.
boy,
and
this will tide you all the way through the week.
It's not one that's like skimping on animations, references, gags, and whatnot.
Yeah, one might say it's we went a little harder on making sure we had the references and stuff. Yes,
it's Lord of the Rings. So there was a desire to make sure it's really good.
Many will be happy to hear like a lot of it is spent talking about how amazing the films are and how they're made. Loads of fun facts, loads of production details, and then all kinds of appreciation for writing.
Moments,
Yeah,
lots of woohoo, as we get to see
just
all
enjoying
the
films
awesome
because they're really good. We believe it is something you guys are going to love, but Gollum destroyed it. Gollum sabotaged it.
But Gollum's
a fucker.
Yeah.
He won't destroy it forever, though. When it comes out, it'll be wonderful.
That's true. Eventually, Gollum will be thrown into Mount Doom, and he'll melt.
This comment.
And he'll be out of our way.
This comment is perfect. Atmola, you could have easily done something else for Christmas, like Home Alone 2 or Silent Night, Deadly Night. Could we have? Interesting.
Could we have done that? Well, we've already we saw the first Home Alone, so
yeah,
kind of got that covered.
I mean, who knows? Who knows if there will be a Christmas EFAP movies on Home Alone 2 or some other movie that's kind of Christmassy and maybe violent. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't.
Home Alone is violent. Why would you?
That's true. Very violent,
it's pretty
actually.
Violent.
Yeah, we're here more so today as a bit of therapy, recovery, and sort of explaining to you how horrible this has been and how cruel life has been. But I'm expecting Wednesday's going to be really fun.
I know. I've only seen some tiny little pieces, and they've been great. So I haven't seen the finished product myself because these guys have been absolutely hammering away at it. So I'm very, very excited for Wednesday. I'm clearing my schedule. Though, give me just
schedule. Yeah, it's the strongest.
Give me a moment. I will be right back. I gotta grab something.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I've asked the past few streams I've been on to all, instead of being 3-hour segments, to be 2, because I can go back straight to editing, which is horrible, but that's okay, because I've almost come to the end. I've got to now do this one last pass, which ultimately shouldn't take more than maybe a day and a half, I think. And once that's done and I upload, that should be that. Might still not make it past full monetization because we swear a lot and there's a lot of violence in Lord of the Rings. But that's part of the fun, So we just want to make you guys fully aware that it will likely start at 6 p.m. GMT Wednesday, so an hour before normal EFAP start, and it will go for nearly 8 hours. So if I'm saying this so that people can put things in place to make sure they have the time to see it live if they want to. But at the same time, we're putting 95% odds on it happening. All right, there's still a chance that it could get fucked up because there always is. YouTube is a horrible, horrible nightmare, like I said. And sometimes I'm a horrible, horrible nightmare where I put Gollum clips on the timeline that completely screw everything up. But, you know, going through and making sure we're protected on copyright means that I should go through the whole timeline and catch any and all mistakes that are... You know, there will still be mistakes in there, like flash frames or whatever have you, but the big ones that really get in the way of viewing things. 95% is a chance, not odds. I don't know the difference between those two things. My brain's all melted.
Man, I'm having like hyper deja vu.
Oh. Remember, that's just your brain processing memory bad.
You saying that thing on EFAP about, yeah, okay, yeah, no, I know. Yep, I'm not clairvoyant or anything, but anyway, continue.
Well, I mean, that's kind of it.
I'm back. Right.
Yeah, that's the end of the story. Gollum ruined everything, but it's okay. It's still coming out, and it's gonna
I've
be
got a story.
Ooh.
It's just a little story. It's more of a thing that just happened. Saw a movie. I saw 1956, I think. The Forbidden Planet.
Ooh.
I think it was pretty bad. So, there you go.
Okay.
That's the story. Yeah.
Wait.
But I would recommend to everyone 1951 When Worlds Collide. I would legitimately recommend that to people. I'd recommend it to you too. I'd watch that with you too.
Well, yeah, all right.
Oh, yeah,
Not Forbidden Planet.
A lot of movies still gotta see.
Well, yeah, a lot of movies to be seen, and a lot of EFAP movies to be seen. Is that me
What do you mean?
clunkily trying to transition us to the next segment of what we're going to be talking about today? Yes, it is.
Wow. That was smooth as silk. That segue had some greasy wheels.
This is one of those things where I've not exactly known exactly when to pop it out, but I suppose it'll probably just be today. In fact, I think after we watch it here live with you guys in chat, I will set the premiere to start on Moolah for it. You know, essentially when we stop this stream, we'll just send you over so you can have a little bit of fun with that as well. But as you guys are aware, there's something we've been working on for a really long time that we've been alluding to, and it's finally coming to fruition. It is reaching its completion, and it's a series of EFAP movies that have been worked on a lot by an editor called Goga that you guys will be very familiar with. Who's been a lad. He's been working quietly in the background on this. It's been something of an idea I had about 4 years ago, and finally we're getting to a point where we can show you some of it. And so, you know, as we like to do with the Halloween,
Feels like a dream.
Halloween arcs, we've got a trailer that's been concocted for this wacky adventure, and normally I think we would like to probably premiere it and then watch it with commentary, but we're kind of going to do it backwards this time. We're gonna watch it, and you know, this trailer. Not only the three of us have seen this trailer before, but me and Rags are also.
This is a really good trailer. I know I'm a little biased, but this is the kind of it's like an actual movie trailer. That's amazing. You'll see in a second, but I can't understate, or maybe I could do both. I won't understate myself, but this is a really good trailer. I had a blast watching it.
You know, I'm gonna get it loaded up. It's probably gonna
Go
back to the beginning. Yeah.
Oh, you spookied me.
Okay, so
Oof.
I don't even know what context we provided for it, other than we've been working on this for a while, and as have like I said, Goga's been editing the shit out of this for a long time as well.
Let's put it this way: when we started this arc, that was long enough ago to where we legally are different people.
Yes.
So it's been quite a it's been a long time coming.
So was it a long Kong? It's like, well, no, there's a lot going on right now. So
no, there's a lot going on, especially for these two working on that Lord of the Ring video. There's been a lot going on.
But it is weird how there's a couple of things all happening at once. So yeah. Anyway, the way this will work, I think, is just pause and talk about this thing whenever you want. But you guys will get the unfiltered trailer coming out. Don't you worry. But we're gonna check this out and probably talk about how it went. But here goes.
Huzzah, dear viewer, and welcome to a whole new world world of EFAP movies, the fabled and illustrious war movie arc is finally here. The long-awaited, highly sought-after, gilded, wonderful bounty...
What's cool is all these clips are from the movies we watched, so you can already start guessing.
Yeah, they are. All of these, yes. This is all a little preview of what's to come. A trailer, if you will.
Oh, stupid copyright cover. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're fine. But yes, it's there's no reason not to be incredibly excited.
Beautiful set of videos that are sure to keep you excited from start to finish have arrived. Right on time.
Yes, we'll go with that.
2024, the year of the man with the sword entering battle and fighting for what's right with a cast of characters commenting as they go.
What's funny is we called it the War Arc, but it's such a terrible name for what we did. Like, but we couldn't think of a better name.
We were constantly, wondering what we should call it.
It's because, well, in fact, there'll be a segment in here pointing out how it's a strange name. But it felt like it just sort of settled in and worked.
Better way to celebrate such an event than with the EFAP crew and 14 full excursions.
14. That's
14.
Remember how fucking 9 was absurd for the Halloween arc? We got 14 in this one.
Let's not set ourselves up.
Yeah.
Into the world of war across the entire year. So, grab your shields, sharpen your swords, pick up your have your bows at the ready. We shall visit castles, countryside,
I really like the Renaissance, Mauler. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, the Renaissance Mauler, that's right.
Yes, not Hillbilly Mauler.
Yeah, that's right.
He's going down to the bayou later for doing some shrimp.
Rags compared Mauler's voice that he's putting on here for Stinky Pete from Toy Story 2.
Which is wrong for many reasons.
It's like watching that's who you're this is clearly like a hillbilly. What you're doing.
This is clearly a Renaissance.
It's great
man.
though. I really like it. I like it.
I wasn't going for hillbilly, but you know what? It's
sometimes hillbilly happens, and that's all right.
Beauty is in the ear of the beholder, I suppose.
Nap.
But yeah, what I want to say though is I was happy with the recording, but I was way happier seeing the visuals Goga applied to it. This bouncy character is very, very fun.
Oh, grab your shields, sharpen your swords, pick up your have your bows at the ready. We shall visit castles, countryside, strongholds, swamps, plains, fields of glory, bloodshed, violence, and of course, heroism. Join us as we witness some of the greatest moments in both cinematic and actual history. Beamed directly to us through the silver screen, the cinematic lens of cinema. War, battle, conflict, drama.
War!
All of it.
I mean, are you not revved up like crazy right now, chat, for this?
I am so ready.
Some of these visuals, plenty of people in chat are already figuring them out. Yep, it's true. All the visuals are accurate to the films you'll see.
Right here, there will be...
Wait. Hang on. Look, I've seen the list. How can you even call this a war movie arc? Where's Saving Private Ryan? You have, no movie set past the 1830s? This is a pretty narrow look at war for all of human history.
Well, now, that's because we're just so gosh... Well, it's...
What the hell? You've got one in here made by the shitty Resident Evil movies guy, but no Apocalypse Now? No Black Hawk Down? What? I don't see any films that... Wait, hang on. Am I not even in this? What the fuck?
The war movie arc was filmed before the advent of freaking.
This arc will
That's how long it's taken.
That's actually true. This was started so long ago. It predates
yeah.
Which is
it's 3 years.
Which is a statement that is very true, only when I wrote this script, I wrote it quickly. Me and Goga had very little time to get this done, right? And it's fucking exceptional considering. I'd forgotten that when we recorded the first movie in this arc, which will be revealed in a moment, it wasn't done as part of an arc. It was done for the sake of watching a movie and recording it. It was only later that we decided, hey, we should make an arc out of these, because we watched 2 or 3 in a row that were not similar, but could be, categorized together. And the funny thing is, Springy's in the first one. He's just casually had been invited to watch a movie. So
That's pretty funny.
it's cursed, but in the best way possible.
All the highs and lows one could expect from war. But also some funnies here and there too. But let's get to the cast, shall we? We have Mauler.
The funny part of this is just, oh man, I want to get revenge. Oh, there's the guy who killed my brother. Time to get revenge.
Yes, time to get revenge now, yeah.
What was that scene? He walked up to him and was like, hey, poke you.
Yeah.
This is poison. Look, it's green. It's poison.
Metal Commander.
What? Once again, you're outmatched. Huh? You can thank me, lady.
What?
Wow, everyone's dicks around here. My wife just died. Just leave me the fuck alone.
Mud is like a ship. It floats on the water. Not like a rock,
God.
where it looks down.
No,
and
rock
drowns.
looks down,
Stop.
yes.
No.
Rags.
Oh, even Ron is like, man,
yeah,
Nick,
he's
are
right.
we the baddies?
Like, oh, whoops.
I had impure thoughts about a man. I did, I think.
Tell me more in great detail what these impure thoughts were.
What about-
Incredible coincidence. Jesus Christ, I want to fuck you.
Smiler Owl.
He's got a big question mark.
keep from weeping.
The Riddler. He's the Riddler. What be you prick?
You'll save that, Cardinal.
Can the Treasury bear such expense?
Critical Drinker.
No, you can't have my fucking shoes. Fuck off. I feel like this is going to turn into a Street Fighter level or something. Like they're going to have health bars appear above them or something.
Yeah, this is a stay, yeah.
No, bring out the wedding sack.
I've always loved
The
it.
wedding sack.
You're my wife now.
Shadiversity.
Lift your shield, mate. That's why you died. You've got a bloody shield. Hang on. It's murder strike. Murder strike.
I look forward to hearing about all the castle criticism, Shad.
Oh,
Shad is going to be great.
hold me back, Carl. Hold me back.
And Sargon of Akkad.
I'm literally the protagonist.
You can't stop me.
If I can't become one, I may as well fight one. What? I can't become a doctor. Well, I may as well fight one.
Might as well kill one.
But he's just not a very good actor.
Hey, he's fine in Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Right?
When he's like, that's not good enough. And it's like, oh, fucking hell, Orlando. Like, I remember how palpably bad that scene was.
Though it should be mentioned that some of these assholes didn't show up to several predetermined recording opportunities and so mysteriously disappear at
No names mentioned specifically. It's fine. It's no names at all. You wouldn't know who I'm talking about. It's totally fine.
seemingly random. But don't you worry, you shall be entertained regardless. Now, let's get to the bit you all want to know about. What movies do we cover?
Pretty good tunes.
Sorry,
From the best games.
I like the. Well, this is from Civilization 6,
Oh,
which
maybe not the best
I've been
games.
told is not very good, even though I like it.
You know, Civ 4 had an insanely good soundtrack. I love Civ 4. That was one of the first like games of its type I ever played, and a very fond memory. You know, Leonard Nimoy narrated Civ 4.
Wait, what happened there?
What? Hello?
Leonard Nimoy. That's what it sounded like you said. Leonard Nimoy.
You said Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy?
Oh,
Is it Nimoy or Nimoy?
So it's Leonard Nimoy.
All right, Leonard Nimoy. He was the he was the narrator for that game. Spock himself.
Sean Bean was the narrator for Civ 6.
Who was?
The
Sean Bean.
Beanster.
Oh,
Armor.
yeah. Does he do? Who else does he play?
Well, he also plays Ned Stark in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that one. My favorite. Oh, who was since you mentioned Game of Thrones? Who is better, Viserys or Theoden?
I mean, probably Theoden, but that's a
I'd
very
probably go with
difficult fight.
Theoden, yeah. Because, I mean, he's one of my favorite characters in Lord of the Rings. So,
Pretty good. Pretty good. But yes, that's the cast. Wrangling them was incredibly difficult. That's
incredibly difficult.
I was about to say arguably,
It was
but I
actually
was
like
no,
herding
that's-
cats.
It's not arguably the reason that this arc took so long. It was the reason this arc took so long, along with how difficult the editing has been. Obviously, getting 14 movies done over a long amount of time. But as people have pointed out, it's like, whoa. So some of these recordings go back like how many years? And it's like, as far as I'm aware, it's like 4 years. I think is the earliest one.
That's insane.
Before I was host, so that was because you weren't that far. Wait, no, I don't know. How much should I date the how long it took? Well, I mean, we know it took really long.
No, I don't mind people. Like I said, I just said it's something like 4 years ago. So
I think really, like, by the time I was host, they weren't that far into this.
no. And it's funny
film.
because as the months went by, every once in a while it'd be like, you know, are we doing, you know, this, that, the other for Wednesday? Then it would be like, Free, me and Rags are recording for the war movie arc. You'd be like, oh, still doing that,
really,
huh?
It was really funny when I would just hear stories about, oh, it didn't happen.
Nope.
And many of those stories will never see the light of day.
No.
We'll take those stories to the fucking grave.
Some references to them exist in some of these videos, so you get that.
Oh, how could they not?
Exactly.
Well, we begin this adventure with the fabled Zack Snyder adventure into the hot gates. That being 300.
Which,
If I was one of these
yeah, I'm in this
See,
one.
he's just... Also, Moriarty is here. And it's like, wait, you didn't mention either of them. It's like, nope. Because I fucking completely
They're just
forgot.
hanging out sometimes. They just showed up. They just found a way in.
But if you close your eyes, does it
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to explain, but like when Gogo was editing, he was like, "Why didn't you mention that Friggy was in?" Like, well, and then I was like, "I don't fucking. It's too late. We're gonna have to go with it. Just make a meme out of it." Because the super funny part here is that like it's acknowledged in video that Friggy had been forgotten. Moriarty isn't. Like, it's not even addressed. It's just like consider it an Easter egg.
Spartans! What is your profession?
That's not a profession.
That's not even a word.
This is such a Zack Snyder shot. Like, it's the darkness, the lightning, the rain, the frown.
The rain, yeah.
We then move into a longer epic starring the wonderful Orlando Bloom, that being Troy.
Immortality! Take it!
Wait a minute. That feels like the opposite of what's on that beach.
Yeah, I'm not gonna I feel like it's death on the other side of it.
I will say, watching Troy was a lot of fun, and we had the full cast and plenty to talk about. It's that's gonna be a big chungus
Very funny
EFAP movie. I'm pretty sure it's like a 2.5 hour EFAP movies or something. It's a very long one because Troy is very long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Hector's
Like-
face when he says, "I'll die fighting." He's like, "The fuck? You don't even."
You want to plan a strategy based on birdseye.
Hector, show respect.
So respect. No, but he's retarded. Like obviously.
Then on to another war epic starring the Orlando Bloom again. Wow, Kingdom of Heaven.
So like it's a purgatory of watching Orlando Bloom desperately not move his face. You will have no peace. just don't move your face. Nothing needs to move. Would you give me an expression before I die?
Holds up a picture of a little puppy. He's like, "Come on."
Yeah.
You just
I want to throw my shield away.
What away his shield? He's like, I don't need that. This won't be useful.
And then we get ourselves a beautiful piece of history given through the medium of film with Orlando Bloom again. Really, the Three Musketeers.
He's just such a bad actor.
Look at the butterflies on it.
I will say this arc changed my mind on Orlando Bloom. I was
And it's positive, right? You think really good of him now,
I think
right?
it starts as Sargon shit all over him, and I'm like, he's fine. And then by the time we hit the end of it, I was like, yeah, he's not good. It's just not good. Kingdom of Heaven was difficult in terms of his engagement with the emotions of the scenes. Yes, and you'd think it's an Orlando Bloom arc, but no, it does stop eventually.
It's just there's nothing convincing about any of his performance.
I think he owns this role.
I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying it is.
What?
Through
This
it,
is
right?
insanity. What?
Bird's gonna shit on his face.
I love Paul W.S. Anderson. He's like, the fat loser gets shit on. Yup.
And so, at our wits' end of Orlando Bloom, we quickly move over to Clive Owen for his interpretation of King Arthur.
Historians agree that the classical 15th century tale of King Arthur and his knights rose from a real hero who lived 1,000 years earlier in a period often called the Dark Ages. Recently discovered archaeological evidence sheds light on his true identity. Bullshit.
So this is a true story.
Hey, Carl, are they your ancestors?
No, they look like Scots. Celts. My ancestors are the conquering invaders who end up creating England.
They're the bad guys in this film.
Yeah, I'm fully rooting for the invader in this film. I'm sorry.
It's Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
see?
What does he play? A Scar?
Look, it's Count Dankula.
The historical Count Dankula.
And then, as if we hadn't seen a flurry of swords and adventure, we are treated to a viewing of The Mask of Zorro.
Hey, Zorro?
That's it. Shh.
He's Hannibal.
You fucking stupid kid.
Is that some kind of like revolver rifle thing?
It's just a revolver with a really long ass barrel.
Listen, I don't much like your smart talk, can you hear me?
Dora is a very spirited dancer. Spirited. Thank you for putting it so delicately.
He dances like a whore, you see.
That's the subtext.
Can't believe
Chad.
that's a
the
peasant's
subtext.
dance.
That will be one to keep an eye on. Good old Mask of Zorro. People have been asking us to do Mask of Zorro EFAP movies for a long time. It's like, yes, finally. But not quite yet. In terms of release, this could be another half a year. But hey, it's on the way.
And with that, over to a more unconventional tale of a knight and his woes to rise in the ranks. To complete his own hero's journey with A Knight's Tale.
Those candles are really doing a great job.
Welcome to the Middle Ages. They've got candles on during the day, and the women do nothing.
You remind me of the Bible.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Because you got it's like an epic compliment, okay?
Stop. I can't.
It's nice though, promoting honor.
And feet.
Love is
It's like, yeah, could you sleep the other way?
Now, since things need a bit of spice here and there, it was decided that we watch a war movie, a sword movie, but with a twist, being it has Nicolas Cage in it. It's Season of the Witch.
Oh gosh.
No, not the bridge! Oh no, ironically, he was hit in the head with a helmet.
Oh, do you see that?
Oh, shit.
Fine.
Fine.
Season of the Witch is a wacky movie. But like,
It is a wacky movie, but it's not.
We
Well,
didn't
I
hate
guess I'll
it.
see what we think of it.
yeah, like it's one of them sort of films that you never heard of, and you're like, then you watch it, you're like, why hadn't I seen this before? Werewolf.
Oh, she's a furry killer!
I'm Strong Fang, first of my name. My power knows no bounds.
Wait, is she actually gonna summon werewolves? Like,
To once again change gears, we then move on through to watching something absolutely fitting of this wonderful arc, yet more outlandish than ever before. It's Army of Darkness.
This animation is super.
It really, War Movie Arc is a really weird name for
Yes.
this series.
it's
Because if you told me War Movie Arc, I would just be thinking about mostly, like, I could imagine, I don't know, Troy making it in there, or
Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But like, I would definitely be thinking that World War II movies or World War I movies would be making their way in that list.
I think what makes
Vietnam.
sense is that if we did, War Movie Arc 2, that we'd move into like more modern military. That would be the selection instead, or something. Different
or you could
era.
I could call it like War Movie Arc 2 or something.
Isn't that what I just said?
Oh, sorry, I didn't. My brain didn't register.
Nobody
that.
listens to me. I'm leaving.
Oh no!
Hooray!
I did a rag. Biden.
It's
See,
not that
it's
bad.
easy how it
It's not gonna
happens.
be all
Wow,
time
that's
you'll
right.
know
It
about
happens,
Terrifying.
but not that often. All right.
All the time.
Have at you, beast.
How about you?
Hey, what's that you got on your face?
I'll come.
Not that it needs to be said, but Army of Darkness is fucking awesome.
What that means is that some lucky soul out there had the fucking privilege to shovel dirt on his face. Off screen, they just chucked it all over him.
Though it then felt a return to form of a more well-respected and serious drama for war was at hand, and so arrived a watch-through of The Last Samurai.
I will try and withhold my anti-katana bigotry for this film, but I cannot promise anything.
This is your last performance. You're fired. Now get out there.
This is like me every time I have to do a live stream.
Wait, who's this guy? Me?
Fucking
Like,
do
come
it,
on,
drinker.
Trigger, get out there.
Chad, do you know who's really weak against ninjas?
Oh,
and by the way-
Samurai, actually, knights would do really well
Samurai.
because of all the plate mail. Like the one thing that knights would be good against.
Yes. One thing.
one
What the hell?
thing.
And at that point, we had truly seen too many good films. Enough. Stop. So we watched In the Name of the King.
Hang on. He's got a boomerang.
Oh, look at him go! The fuck is the music doing? We ended up with more Ron Perlman than I would have expected in this
Oh, he
arc.
did, yeah.
He just pops up, you know? Are we in ballet right now?
Remember how he leaves this movie?
Yes, I do.
They'll see.
In the Name of the King is something else, guys. Something else.
What a movie. What a film.
He can't really talk right now. He's
Yeah.
dying.
Why are we
Oh,
here?
what? Oh, come on. Oh, what?
That is the...
As a form of apology, we then decided to check out one of the quintessential, most famous war boys ever made. Of course, we are talking about Braveheart.
I think young William is destined for great things.
Oh, I not in the eye.
Ignore old man Rags over there, he's dead.
That was a fun
That's just air escaping.
You are outmatched. You have no heavy cavalry.
Does he mean fat horses?
I'm not finished.
Sword that the glass mouth guy is holding. It's actually a Morgan Cleaver. Hey, you don't see that very often.
Morgan Cleaver?
Wait, do all cleavers belong to
The
Morgan?
We then, on a high note like that, decided to immediately check out another very famous war movie that is beloved by everyone. Ironclad.
Jonathan English film.
Wait, isn't that the Mr. Bean
Johnny
spy
English.
character?
Yeah.
Johnny English.
You're miles off. Right?
I way prefer the idea that Rod Atkinson.
Okay.
made this. Oh, shit.
Jonathan English and Johnny English are not miles off. I will not be gaslit into thinking that.
Gas him.
Oh, I better listen to the story.
Specifically the captain's school.
Wow, it's so shaky. I can't.
Real war was shaky, Shad.
Sometimes you wonder. Indeed, there is a Charles Dance cameo in our war movie arc. At least one. I don't think he pops up in anything
At
else.
least one.
Yes. When
At
they're
least
filming,
one.
if they could even see things.
Yeah, a few Orlando Bloom cameos too.
Yeah, plenty of the Bloomster.
Yeah. Couple
They're
cameos
sitting there
by him.
going,
Isn't a cameo if
He
he's
needs to
like
be
one
a
of the
man
main
in-
characters?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because
Alright,
it's
sure.
it's a war movie arc, you know. So every movie is like a cameo in the arc.
Jack up. You know, sometimes you have to kill people. It's life. Deal with it.
How many people have you killed, Chad?
Look. I can't
Officially?
say,
Sometimes you gotta. It's just the way it is.
Look, I might incriminate myself if I say.
Tell us where the bodies are, Shad.
And to finish the arc, one last movie to end this wonderful chapter. You guessed it. It's, of course, Gladiator.
I just want to point out, on an ancient battlefield, there's usually a lot less fire than there.
Holy, I know there's
There's
napalm
always
going off
loads
in
of
this.
Yeah, no,
fight.
I'm not even joking.
Holy crap! This is mostly historical nonsense.
But it looks really good.
But it looks cool.
Thrust this into another man's flesh.
Wait, the sword, right?
The sword, yeah.
The sword, right?
You may begin to love them.
What about love and
with
thrusting? I don't know, man.
Man flesh.
War's bad, okay?
War is neutral. It's complicated.
Looks pretty bad to me.
Very reasonable take there, Mauler.
This adventure...
What I will say, by the way, a lot of people are happy to see Gladiator is coming out. The way this works, that was in chronological order. You're not going to see Gladiator until around about this time next year. That's when that comes out. But what will be neat is you'll see that, and then a week later or so, there'll be a new trailer going over the new arc. There'll be another one by then. Because that's going to be the way we try and do this now.
Movies for Napoleon, follow up maybe it's the Ridley Scott arc.
Yeah, we could do that, yeah. There's so many options. A lot of people saying, like,
Oh,
why
then
don't you
they
do
have
some of the
two.
sequels to these movies? Why don't you do other Three Musketeers movies? Why don't you... It's like, you know what? There's just so many. So many.
There's a lot of things that there could be, yeah.
and hero-worthy arc will be starting right on January 1st. It will run all the way through the year of 2024.
All of
That's-
I love. Which is your favorite? I think the top right's my favorite.
I think
April
The
might
top
be my
row was
favorite.
pretty good. Yeah.
I think the April one is really good. The April one is really funny.
Yeah, it's hard not to love the April one.
I really like the June one as well.
They're all having fun. That's what's important. But yes, this we are kind of committing to particular days when me and Gogo were talking about when we release them. But I realized with the previous Halloween arc, probably not worth being more specific than the months, and this is how it will be split. You'll be getting
and yes, no war in Spooktober because Spooktober is Spooktober. That's
well,
gonna be
yes.
another arc.
That is already being worked on. That's going to be exciting for you folks. But that does mean for every image here, you know, it's representative. So it's the 14, and then this year's Halloween Boy is 9 movies again. So that's a lot of EFAP movies for the year of 2024. Considering, I think this year, not including Halloween this year, I think we had like some. I want to say like 5. Was it Descent this year? I think it was, right?
December this year. And then, of course, you good old EFAP TVs, all right?
Yes,
well, yeah,
lots
because you
of
get Loki.
Well, yeah, I was going to say the funny thing is they're getting plenty of EFAP TVs in 2024 as well, not including Acolyte. If we, you know, that might come out. I don't know. We'll see what we're doing with that.
That might be on the cards, but I mean, Loki is well.
Yes.
Yeah, Loki's next year.
Yes, Loki's definitely next year. It's the.
Excluding October, of course, we have something rather spectacular planned for that. If you need any reassurance on the releases of this Leviathan, please know that in a stroke of luck, all of it is good to go. Mostly. And that is thanks to the editing team of The Little Potato, Goga, and even myself. But mostly Goga. This is very much his arc. Excellent work, my good man. So, get everyone ready for a year of adventuring excitement. We shall see you on the battlefield. Huzzah!
A little waddle off.
I don't get tired of Goga animations. They're very, very fun.
What the fuck? You've got one in here, man. That is that was me discovering that the line was the one making fun of Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yes. It's always funny. But yeah, so that's that. You got that on the way. That's the War Movie Arc trailer, which will probably pop out on the Moolah channel as its own thing right after this stream is done. But yeah, you know, because we wanted to do some announcements, make sure you guys understand what's happening. Loads of work has been done recently to create things that you're not seeing immediately. That's the problem. It's like, oh, look at this thing that you can't have yet. It's that meme, isn't it? There's like a clip. It's really funny for that. But at the same time, you are getting EFAP Movies 300 will be January 1st, so that one is actually quite close.
Wait, EFAP Movies 300? Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the 300th EFAP Movies. I was like, wait, hold on. We're nowhere near that.
Throw out 240 of them in the next few days. So where's Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings will be Wednesday, and it's going to be an 8-hour boy, and then that Saturday we've got the EFAP plan for that. That'll be, I guess, the Christmas one on the 23rd. Then there will be an EFAP Movies, as long as everything works out, on Christmas Day. And then a few days later, we'll pop out another festive EFAP Movies, if, again, everything works out as planned. Then, probably do a New Year's stream, and we'll do what we do every year, which is just look back through all the events of EFAP in the year, and talk about, in retrospect, how everything went. More of a talky-talky stream, I'd imagine. And then EFAP Movies 300. And then what we will try and probably do is go back to some level of normalcy in terms of production, because things will start flowing out that have been worked on before. And maybe do some doubler episodes, as in, like, you know, doing like a mainline Saturday one, but maybe a shorter Wednesday one to try and catch up with the number count. We're a little bit behind. But we're not behind in terms of releases. You guys are going to be stuffed to the brim with things to watch.
Stuffed. Yeah, boy.
Which is, you know, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun, and really looking forward to you guys, especially seeing the Lord of the Rings edit.
Oh, I'm very excited.
Is, like I said, on the way. Now, probably respond to the messages that have been sent in, and like I said, we'll go until 2 hours. We've got 50 more minutes to have a little chat. But those are the main announcements and the understanding, and hopefully you get why everything has been weird, because we've just been working on stuff for you. Oh, and of course, just in terms of announcements, tomorrow on Nerdrotic's channel, we're doing a stream where we're just celebrating Return of the King with a couple guests. He does it once per year, according to the anniversaries. We did Fellowship 2 years ago, Two Towers last year, and this year it's going to be Return of the King. Which will be a nice, I think, sort of ramp up to the Wednesday EFAP movies, I'd say. 2 hours? Is something wrong? Is a divorce coming? Yes, a divorce with Long. But it's only temporary. Like a separation.
Just a temporary divorce. They'll be back together soon.
I mean,
All
the
of us
fact is,
will.
8
You
hour
can't escape.
8 hour EFAP movies. Is that the longest? The Snyder Cut was EFAP movies was like 4 hours, I think. So
I don't see how it could be longer. Yeah.
I don't. It wouldn't make sense to have one longer than the EFAP movies, Lord of the Rings trilogy.
That would make no sense. Very true.
Yeah. Well, unless it was Long Kong, of course.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
2000 Grinch or Elf EFAP for Xmas. Also High Rags.
Oh, hello.
We should do the Grinch at some point, the Jim Carrey one. I think people have asked for that a couple of times. It would be fun to do that.
I haven't seen that one in ages.
A bit of a wacky movie. Short, man, bad. Can't you just spawn infinite time to work for my enjoyment? Also, you Dumbos should announce that you're going to play DDLC. Not quite yet.
I don't know if we should do that. Not yet.
But,
there's
yeah,
simply too much going on.
I know that this is unusual, but yes, personally, I could make use of infinite time if only I had it. I think that would be a valuable little asset I could pop up. The thing, I think I've actually thought about it before. If I had the ability to pause time so that the world doesn't continue, but I do, but I still age, I feel like that's something I'd need to destroy immediately, so I never, because you know what would happen? I would pause all the time to make certain things work, and then I would age up by fucking 10 years compared to everything else.
Yeah, that'd be...
You'd be quite a medical curiosity.
Mm-hmm. People would just assume, man, you got a lot of stress, maybe. Something's wrong with you. You're all busy editing and doing other things, and you chose to go live for a short spell. Hey, thanks. Also, Merry Crimbo, Rags.
Merry Crimbo!
Well, the thing
It's
is,
Crimbo time!
Mubes has still got work to do. I'm done on Lord of the Rings.
Go back to Loki, I guess, if you're doing work. But at the same time, maybe take a break and play some God of War or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
People say Rags is an Arkansas 8, but we all know he's an Arcanine. Also, hey, good boy.
Ooh, very cute.
That's a Boogie reference as well. Nice.
Very cute. That's a Pokemon reference, but
I mean, I think you're mixing up with
I'm an
Snorlax,
Arkansas
but that's
10,
okay.
Let's just be clear. Boogie is a Snorlax.
I think you mixed him up, yeah, but that's all right.
No, we've had this conversation. Snorlax, charming lad.
No, I said he's mixing him up. It's not the same.
That's right. He's not Snorlax.
Oh, I hear, but yeah, that's true. Boogie is not a Pokemon.
His own business,
Snorlax is a cool guy. Sometimes he sleeps in the way of things, which could be a nuisance.
Yeah,
but,
he just likes to have a good time.
He's just tired.
Yeah, he didn't mean to upset you. He's just like, oh shit, sorry.
I mean, it is chronic as well. There's not really much you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he has more than one joy in life. It's not just sleeping.
I mean, Boogie has many joys in life.
No, he's only got the one.
Only the one. It just resets a lot as to which one.
Which was it? What was the one joy in his life? I forget.
I don't know. There's a list.
A list of one.
Yeah.
It was TV. I think TV was the first one. It was TV. Then it was Magic the Gathering.
Video games.
Then was it food? Video games.
Yeah, food. The arcade machines, baby.
Yeah.
Going to the arcade.
And of course, remember he had to buy all of those games. He had to buy Diablo 4.
That makes sense.
I wonder, because he did that video with the guy, right? The finance guy who goes through the finances of internet celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they had a conversation about the necessary video games that he had to buy.
Yeah, the absolutely necessary ones. Yes, those ones.
Yeah, he had to buy 3 games in a month.
He had to. He can't. He couldn't just not.
What else can he do? What are the options here? I don't understand.
Yeah, you guys are acting like he just couldn't. Like he couldn't do that.
He just couldn't. He just didn't have to.
And they followed up with saying, "You want the ball? You want it? Fetch." Okay. I think that was for you, Rags. I'm not sure.
That'd be for Rags, yeah.
I mean, it sounds nice.
Yeah.
I won't deny that for a second.
Shut up and take my money. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers.
Is Asmongold the Diogenes of our time? Also, you nerds play Hypnospace Outlaw. It's good rat.
Why would he be Diogenes?
I also haven't heard of Hypnospace.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I
Why
don't
would he be
know.
Diogenes?
I have
Diogenes
no
is
earthly idea.
I feel like that's the big whole element for Diogenes. He only owned the vase that he slept in. He didn't even own a bowl. He saw dogs drinking water. They didn't need a bowl, and he was like, "Oh wait, no. Did Diogenes see dogs, or did he see kids like scooping up water in their hands?" And then he realized, "I don't even need a bowl. I can just scoop it out with my hands." Diogenes he's an interesting guy, all right? Like, I hope the story is true. I hope the story is true that Alexander the Great rolled through town and he told him to get out of the way because he was blocking his son. I really hope that happened. That is so funny to me.
That is funny.
And then the follow up was Alexander the Great the quote was something along the lines of, "If I weren't Alexander the Great, I would like to be Diogenes," and Diogenes said, "If I weren't Diogenes, I'd like to be Diogenes," or something. Oh no, "If I were Diogenes, I'd like to be Diogenes."
If I was
Oh my God.
Diogenes, I'd like to be Diogenes.
I'd still want to be me, yeah. And then what was it? Aristotle said that he was it was Aristotle said that he was Socrates gone mad, which maybe maybe he was.
Maybe he
Diogenes. He's an interesting guy.
XQC finds the last human in Soma, doesn't talk to her, immediately kills her, and then tries to turn her life support back on when she's dead.
Oh, I don't think I could bear to watch.
I was going to say, I've heard people suggest it before. It's like, you should watch him play it. I was like, why would I want to do that?
By the way, do we want to retable the conversation about, because there are more than a few people in the comments who disagreed with our perspective that it's a coin toss.
I had a couple people message me on my God of War stream, and plenty of people understand it, but a lot of people respond to it by repeating the information that we have as part of the explanation. You know what I mean? It would be like, one of the foundational things is the it's a difference of perspective between Catherine and Simon, and that our interpretation / the straightforward version that a lot of people would have would be what Simon would believe it to be, which is that he's left behind. But if you remember, Catherine doesn't see much of a difference between her current self, her flesh self, and the self on the Ark. Because
it's like that last conversation where he says they're not us. That's Simon's perspective.
Yeah, and she doesn't agree with that.
From Catherine's perspective, it's like, well, they are. They have the same memories, the same perspective. They are a continuation that just split off from this point.
And as soon as you understand that, the coin flip thing will be easier to understand in terms of philosophical perspective.
Yeah, it's a coin toss in terms of a POV. When you hit the button to copy yourself over, whatever entity is there, like from their perspective, they're the continuation, but there was like an equal chance that they could have been the continuation that stayed behind. It's like the idea, because when people say it's like, whoa, it's like copy and paste. That paste is a new one. It's like, but it's the same. It's identical. It's like in The Prestige, whoever's the real one is irrelevant. There is no real one. They're both as real as each other. And
You're
from both of
one,
their
Fringy.
perspectives, they're the real one.
Well, it's something I love about Soma is when you're brought in without knowing the context of you being a robot, the second you find it out, you don't suddenly go like, I'm not Simon. I'm
no, exactly.
And that's the thing that's really hard for him, is he can't, because he is him, right? That's kind of the point, is that when you experience what he's experiencing, it's like no one can convince you you're not a real person, you're not a real human, you're not Simon. Might be able to get some category differences, but Simon's not ready for that. And so when he one of the most telling lines, and it's so much so fucking well written, is when he is Simon after he's transferred in the or copied over in Omicron. He says, why was it talking? Why is he talking?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he
it
has
takes a little bit
rights.
longer. Yeah.
It's that little difference in how the dialogue just tells you what he's thinking, which is that there's no way anything other than me is me. Like that, I am me. And but the problem, of course, is that I keeps changing, but he doesn't seem to understand that, and that's what Catherine recognizes. And this is another thing I love about Soma. We talked about it in that coverage, but a lot of people came away from the game thinking, while playing it, that Catherine was an asshole. Catherine's not to be trusted. Catherine's kind of a lame character because she just lies to you. She's just a normal girl who's trying to get through this experience, realizing that you're very much volatile.
Normal, but also like not normal in that she's been here for a while.
What I mean by normal is that she's the way she's dealing with this conflict is trying to kind of avoid it. She doesn't want to have to deal with it, which a lot of people would do. But it does come across as like devious or lying or like what's her ultimate goal. And a lot of people do assume she's going to end up being the villain or something. And it's like, no, she just wants to launch the Ark.
Oh, she's trying to save humanity. That's her goal.
But yeah, you know, if you're interested in the pieces of discussion we ever have about Soma, we now have a full EFAP episode on it. So check it out if you wanna. We even check out some videos from a long time ago. Some might say it's even scary.
This is
Some
so
might
honest.
say it's even
This
scary.
is so dishonest. The objective truth is there is no coin toss. What do you? It's philosophy. What are you trying to say, Total? It's from their perspective. What the fuck? Like, okay.
Those were a bit. We end up saying the same thing over and over again. So I'm just like, it's all right if you disagree. Maybe that's one of the best times to say agree to disagree, and that's all right.
Yeah.
I was planning on rewatching the Lord of the Rings trilogy anyway. Thanks for giving me an excuse to get to it. It's my favorite film and book series. Love you all. Makes a lot of sense to pick Lord of the Rings as a trilogy as your favorite film, to be honest. I think that's the one thing that Lord of the Rings has that I think most trilogies just never have, is that it doesn't feel like 3 movies necessarily, as opposed to just, you know, there's really well-chosen breaks between a very long movie. Very much unified. There's such a consistent element of quality and I guess approach to the artwork versus something like there's a distinct difference. I mean, one of the best examples would probably be the sequels, right? Like they're created by people who don't even like the previous ones. But even something like Indiana Jones, very distinct, the 3 of them, in terms of talking about what they do and what they are.
Yeah.
But Lord of the Rings, like, fuck, do they just run into each other so well. Hi lads, I'm Poopy Pants. And then they got a poop and a pants emoji. Nice to meet you. When and where was the last time you pooped your pants? I don't know. It's been a while, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, Mel sent me a video. It was a meme, I guess, on Twitter. There's a guy. It's like his car camera. You know, the one that like records inside. He's just on his phone. And he's like lying down, and then I think you hear a fart noise, and then his eyes like widen. He goes, "Did I just shit my pants?" And he thought it was worth sending to me, I guess. I was like, "Why have you sent me a guy who shit his pants in his car?" And he was just like, "It's just so funny to realize that you sharted in the middle of like."
I was about to say, I feel like that's really the only context in which the average adult is pooping their pants, is that they're trying to squeeze out a fart, and then they realize the error of their ways.
So it all goes wrong, yeah.
Yes, one of our prime ministers apparently shit his pants in McDonald's.
Well, that'd be the place to do it.
That's Scott Morrison.
3 bathrooms.
The story is that he shit his pants at McDonald's.
Those are jokes that get to me in a lot of stuff, animated or not. But when a character has a walking sort of thing, they've done a poo or a shot or whatever, then they just start walking really awkwardly. It's always funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Rags, please sing some of "Here Comes the Sun."
Nope. Not really in a singing mood, so unfortunately I will not be able to honor that request.
Oh well, maybe one day.
Sorry. Oh my goodness. Maybe later.
Hey, they got a free burp there though.
Yo, that's true. That burp cost you nothing. That was just a little
freebie.
A little something that you could, a little freebie, a little free burrino.
Well, see, this is a great early Christmas gift from the lads at EFAP. Yeah. I was half considering releasing the Lord of the Rings EFAP movies on Christmas Day, but then I was like, oh wait, we've got other plans for Christmas Day, and I feel like it's so difficult to make these decisions sometimes. It's just like, well, wait, a lot of you guys will be hanging out with family and stuff. You don't want to miss the live thing because we put it on Christmas Day, even though it would be kind of fun to have it be like Christmas gift and stuff. But you know, this part of why I wanted it out on Saturday was I figure you guys are more available. Wednesday, even though it's getting close to Christmas, I imagine a lot of people will be working, but at this point it's our like last option, or at least one of the few. But thank you very much. Howdy boys, by the time you read my 9-month message, I'll be a member for at least a year. Well, I've already read it,
that's
so
great.
There we go, but fair enough. And thank you very much. Mask of Zorro and Army of Darkness are two of my favorite movies of all time. Thanks for the early birthday gift. The trailer is a form of an early birthday gift, I suppose, but those two you're not going to see for still a bit of time. We just want, the trailer just lets you guys know what's coming up, so that you can know that things have been made and are being made. I watched Anastasia on a flight after Mola said it was good. It was. I loved it. Also going to watch Usher on you guys and a friend's recommendation. You know what's crazy is I think the most glowing review of the House of Usher, the Fall of House of Usher, from any of the people, including all of us, is Critical Drinker. He did a video on it. If you haven't checked it out, he's very happy with the Fall of House of Usher. And I think part of it is informed by the fact that, because he does a little bit of an intro to Mike Flanagan, I think he just really likes Mike Flanagan at this point, which we do too.
I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah,
we do too. We definitely share that. He's anything he does, we're interested in. Doesn't matter the setting or the concept. We got a lot of confidence in him to make it interesting. He put a lot of heart into it.
He does, and you can always rely on, not only is his work going to have a lot of points to make, but that you'll get characters, consistent characterization.
Absolutely.
And plenty of things that they give you the clues, and you're like, oh, that's going to be there, that's going to be there, that's going to be there, and then you're like, oh, I wasn't quite right, but I got a lot of it. Yeah, it's nice, good stuff. And we would recommend The Fall of the House of Usher. If you like any of his previous work, you should definitely check it out.
Absolutely, 100% do it. We really enjoyed watching it.
Before Fringy equals BF, and Annum Fringium equals AF. Yeah, those the times before and after. It makes sense. A war arc. Oh, sweet jumping crispy critters. This is sure to be a crake for the whole family to enjoy. All right, well, good. As long as the family are having fun. When you finally do Long Kong, you need a montage of every reading of the copy pastor on Super Chat Catch-Up. It would really hype it up. I don't actually know how long that would take if we actually did a compilation of every time I've read that out.
That would.
I feel like you guys would be driven
Right,
insane if I actually did that compilation. I'm just saying. I've been waiting for years for a breakdown of classic medieval movies. I'm so pumped. Well, I hope it's everything that you're looking for, because it is kind of
the ones that we haven't done too.
It's so funny because me and Rag's been watching them and recording them, so that they're like in our library in our head of things that have been done, but that there's just no awareness of them really in like the sort of Moolah library. So it's going to be weird for them finally to be a part of it, but it is kind of an aspect of film that we haven't really gone over yet. A lot of the styles and stuff. I think you guys will like it. So this is a replay series. A replay series? What would that mean? You mean this the war movie arc or not? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean.
I don't actually know.
Where is Jay? Is he safe? Is he all right? As far as I know, yes. Still speak to him here and there. I watched the Doctor Who episodes with him, which I mean, I don't talk about Doctor Who that much on EFAP, but I had some level of hope for the specials, being that Russell T Davies is returning to write and Tennant and Tate were back, but hyper unrecommend those 3 specials. Doctor Who was a complete fucking mess. It's gotten shat on and made fun of by basically everybody, these 3 specials. I've seen some positivity about performances or maybe like scenes here and there, but fucking they dropped the ball hardcore, and I think that they've damaged any sense of what's going to happen with the new Doctor. I actually watched the 3rd special with Fringy. Fringy, what did you think?
I didn't understand it. Like, I was very confused, baffled, really. I don't know what I'm supposed to make of it.
What did you think of the bi-generation?
I don't know what it means. I thought that I didn't think like I don't understand what it means. I don't understand how it's possible.
Well, there you go.
Like they just split in two. They just split in two when he got shot with the laser, and then that was it. And they were like, "Oh yeah, by generation. Okay, moving on." I found the whole
Talking
thing
about by
like, bizarre.
generation.
And I don't know a whole lot about Doctor Who. I don't really know much at all, so I could be wrong in this assumption. But I had it when I was watching it with Mola, which was, isn't Doctor Who kind of like, isn't this the same as Captain America, where like the idea of getting him to retire is kind of like an impossibility for that character? That he would always feel like he should be out there doing stuff and helping people? That he would never allow himself to just like stop?
A big thing about the Doctor that fans, I think, feel is just absolutely in stone and should never change is that he's like he's a space hobo, he's a space wanderer, he's like a guy who just wants to see and experience all kinds of things, but simultaneously the darker side of that is that he lives for so long and lives so many lives that he doesn't like to stay with anybody for too long. He doesn't want to watch them die and doesn't want to have to deal with the fact that they're mortal, they don't last as long as him. So a lot of people would refer to him as like he's always running away from a lot of the harsher aspects of life, but still having to deal with them when certain things happen. And so the idea that he settles down with a bunch of people he really likes is difficult to swallow. It's like, what do you mean? And it's like, and they try to make it. You can tell from watching it that the writer is aware of a lot of people's perspective on it, because they're like, oh, don't worry, he's still got his... The Doctor splits in two, and you're thinking to yourself, well then, do they both get a TARDIS? How does that work? And, well, they both have one, and then the new Doctor says, oh, wait a sec, and then hits the TARDIS with a hammer, and now there's two of them. Because...
Which, yeah, again...
Oh, that sounds really useful.
I don't know much about Doctor Who, but I always understood that the TARDIS was, like, very unique, very
you don't want to
powerful.
arbitrarily just fucking duplicate the TARDIS.
Oh, and you remember to mention that the TARDIS also had like a wheelchair accessible like ramp.
Oh my god, that was so fucking stupid.
Yeah, like I don't know what the idea is.
It was like the TARDIS has been upgraded. It's like, how now people with wheelchairs can go into it because it has a ramp at the front. It's like, what are you? What?
Like a little ramp that you.
Doctor
just,
Who is saved.
But also, I saw the clip where the lady in the wheelchair like pressed a button and shot like a rocket out of.
She can fire rockets from a wheelchair. Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, that's
like Boba Fett can shoot rocket from his kneecaps.
It's quite like that, actually. Yes.
Which man, okay.
There's so many things that are just like, why the fuck did you write that? Which is sad because, of course, some of my favorite episodes of Doctor Who are written by Russell T Davies, and I would argue some of my favorite episodes of TV are also written by him in Doctor Who. There's a handful, I'd say, that I adore. I want to make a video on Midnight someday. That'd be nice. Because it kind of transcends the show that it's in, I think, in terms of commentary on stuff, but yeah, I don't understand how the same man made these episodes. And maybe I should mention, yeah, don't worry, it makes sense that he duplicates the TARDIS because they defeated the toy maker, and that means you get a wish or something. It's
Does Lee spend his wish on duplicating the TARDIS?
I don't know.
That's probably not a great wish. Right?
I don't understand how it
better than
works. I just don't understand it, Rax, and I don't even want to. But anyway, like the new Doctor is he's going to go on adventures while the Tenant Doctor is going to settle down with Catherine Tate and her family. And Donna Noble, instead of being removed of any memory of all the fun life she had with the Doctor, because, you know, the weight of all of the information along with having the Doctor's like consciousness somewhat in her own brain would kill her, instead of that being the reality, she now, as her memories back, can properly reconcile all of it because she's a woman. That's the explanation they give us in the first special. Women have the ability to give up power, and therefore she is able to give up the meta crisis situation. And she has her best friend Doctor with her whole family with her. She has a very high-paying, happy job. She's and people post like, "Isn't it great that she got everything she wanted?" No.
I mean,
it is not.
Again, isn't this it just struck me as like hyper fan service, that episode that you showed me. See, your favorite doctor, he gets to settle down and have a nice happy ending instead of like meaningfully committing to the characters and story that you're telling.
I can't remember if I ever talked about it on any EFAP episodes, but there's a few real BBCs where I do, because Az and Gary are very into Doctor Who. The nature of the meta crisis situation made for a very powerful like payoff that people respect, and I said it on one of those streams, but Gary's video on it, he shows clips of when they made that story back in, I want to say 2000, like, I don't even know, 2009, 2010, something like that. And they're talking in interviews about how tragic it is that Donna and the Doctor have to be separated for the sake of her own, living, and that it's a really bittersweet ending, but that there's a lot to take from it that's positive, but, simultaneously it's very tragic, and that's it. That is the end of that story. That's how it goes. And then they bring it all back just to completely undo it and go happily ever after, which I'm starting to realize it just doesn't work. Like, when you have your story heading in the direction of tragedy, and then you just go, nah, actually it works out. It's like, I don't even know why you do it at this point. It's just making everybody upset. I think everyone's realized that we can deal with tragic endings, at least somewhat.
Sorry, I just saw it because someone in chat said, how is it fan service when the Doctor staying on Earth and retires breaks the law? Breaking the law is not fan service. The clarification would be, it's bad fan service. It's misguided and dumb. That yes, the real fan service, the true fan service is actually following through on your story.
Yeah.
Following through on the world and the characters and your themes. But misguided fan service would be, well, you want to see them have a happy ending, right? They're like your favorite character, so let's give them everything that they want.
Yeah.
Rather than following through. It's bad fan service is what it is. I mean, it's
if
basically
you want to give
like
people that kind of ending, you got to really make sure to work for it. And even then, I feel like a lot of the times it just feels. Sometimes it feels artificial.
Well, it's we need so more sad and bittersweet endings. Yeah, I mean it's kind of Lord of the Rings is a happy ending.
Oh god, Lord of the Rings is perfect. They nailed
Lord
it.
of the Rings still has elements that are sad about it. Frodo and Sam being split apart as he leaves and Sam stays behind. They got their victory, but there's still sadness. And then, of course, all of the characters who died right along the way. In a sense, Theoden has his big arc and resolution and, basically fulfills his purpose in that world and is a hero, but it's still sad, right? Like, it's kind of the multi-layered nature of endings for characters and the story in Lord of the Rings.
Everything he's dealt with, everything he's dealing with, Theoden's got the aspect of, I've had to basically take responsibility from having been cursed by a wizard and his fucking, piece of shit, like, servant. And then comes through as hard as he does, only on Pelennor Fields to directly face the Witch King and get brutally killed. Like, it's harsh. But
it's harsh, but at the same time, it's like
it follows. It's of course the Witch King would target the king. Why wouldn't he?
I almost feel like that might be a big mistake of bad writers, is an unwillingness to recognize that what you could call negative emotions, if you want to be really, really reductive, that these negative emotions can be good as part of what the story evokes. That a story doesn't necessarily need to have a happy ending. It doesn't need to have happy endings for any given character either. It's all about like what's appropriate and meaningful and thematic. More so than just like, well, yeah, but you like this character, so you want to see them have a happy ending. I mean, not necessarily. I don't want to have an ending that betrays the story, because that would be really lame. That would be really shitty. But yeah.
Don't make me think that they are actually a character in a story. When I start thinking of them as a character in a story, and not a character in like a world that I can immerse myself in, that's oftentimes when you know that.
It is pretty funny how with the whole Doctor getting split apart thing, like, I think Maul and I had the feeling at the same time. It's like, dude, this is like actually the definition of having your cake and eating it too.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your new Doctor, but you get to keep your old Doctor as well. like instead of having to commit to one or the other. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
Everybody
that's,
knows what that saying is, but they still did it.
It's the worst kind of fan service, and of course you'd be like, it's again not fan service. It's like, yeah, but it is intended that way. Russell T is like, the fans will love this. Like, no. Though some fans do. Some fans have been saying it's just so nice to see them have a happy ending. It's like, yeah, okay.
So is it still all like the same writers from previous seasons and stuff? The ones that people hate.
The big hype was that they were bringing back the guy that everybody likes, right? Russell T Davies.
Yes, he wrote from 2005 to 2010, I think, and then left. Stephen Moffat took over for, I want to say, like 5 years. Then Chris Chibnall took over, and then the Doctor Who just crashed and burned. And so then he's come back, and people were like, well, you know, he's the best writer we've had in the reboot as a whole, right? And then we get what we get. So yeah. Finally catching a live one again. All hail the dawn. Good to hear Froggled, Loke, and more long. I miss Wolf on these. Metal, Gollum, High Rags.
Hello.
Yeah, we'll try and get Gollum as a guest. See if he's interested. That'll be fun sometime. I'll rewatch Arcane and Andor with my brother. He's into filmmaking, but haven't watched either. We're back home together, so we can't put it off anymore. Good choices. Have fun, I suppose. I'll wait for seasons 2 of both of those. Something to look out for. When I was listening to Halo Reborn, my sister asked me if I was listening to Star Wars music. I said no. Mind you, she doesn't know anything about Halo. Guess Marty's score is so good to be mistaken as Star Wars music.
I don't think that they even sound remotely similar. So
I don't think they sound similar at all. I'm trying to think.
I think the most that you could give is that particularly the prequels are a lot more heavy on choir. Maybe that could be the
totally different. There's like no brass in.
Halo
yeah,
is
they're
very
just like two
string heavy.
completely different things, really.
I mean,
Honestly, yeah.
that's worth considering is that Halo is very strings heavy. Halo is it's a lot of the time it's not as energetic. No, that'd be something I'd say. A lot of Star Wars music is very energetic, but a lot of Halo music is chill. You know what I mean? Like even Covenant Dance, which is like a more energetic song, I would say is more chill than like the standard kind of music that you would hear in like a Star Wars battle sequence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they sound even remotely similar. Yeah. But
I
guess...
honestly don't know what. Yeah, your sister. We're trying to say your sister's stupid.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm surprised that someone would consider them as sounding similar.
Finally catching a live one again. All hail the dawn. Good to hear. Oh wait, I did read those one out. That's okay. More, the possibility of a successful EFAP movies upload is 3,720 to 1. Chat, never tell us the odds, you rhino-milking, gas-sipping, masked eldritch god. I mean, you still get them eventually. It's more of a odds against particular ones, but you know what? The odds get better and better as every day goes by. Do EFAP of Kung Pao if you're so great. You know, I'm not. We definitely haven't done that, but there may be a little nod to it in good old Lord of the Rings recording, actually. But we'll definitely do that someday. Three Musketeers from 1973 is the best adaptation IMO. Fair enough.
1973.
There are many
I remember some of it, and we should take a look sometime. I would definitely like to see that. I think there's a lot of good stuff in there.
I know you're working a lot, and I'm grateful for it. Just remember to pace yourselves. Don't want any of you getting burnt out from sheer workload. Nobody wants that at all. We will try to remain sane. Make sure to have time with family, friends, play some games, watch some films, just for the sake of enjoying them. Always a way to balance it all out. But thank you. Y'all are great entertainment. Thanks for all the work. Also on Tuesday, I searched for Stargrift in YouTube, and guess what the first result was? For Stargrift? I don't know. Have a look. Tutorial on how to name a star. Unless I'm missing something here. Let's do it as one word, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. But in any case, that will pull up more specific results in mere weeks from now. Happy holidays, EFAP. Also, hi Rags.
Hello.
Have you seen Godzilla -1 yet? No, but I imagine all
Nope.
three of us will see it at some point, considering its reputation.
Yep, I'm thinking I will probably see it in not too long.
Thoughts on piracy? I think as time goes on, there's more and more reasons why we need it to stay as an option.
Yeah.
But that it can obviously be abused. And that plenty of people will use the more ethical reasons to do so under the, like, to use it as a cloak for just not having to pay for things because it's fun when you get stuff for free. But yeah, piracy has its place now, I would say, almost more than ever in terms of
Kind of.
protecting
Companies
media.
are really making some pretty good arguments for piracy.
Yes.
Not that I would ever condone such a thing, but some people would make the argument that I have said. Not me, but some people might.
Remember when Jared Padalecki was meant to be Supernatural's protagonist? Now everyone only remembers Jensen Ackles. Seen that phenomenon with other shows?
I thought they were dual protagonists. I thought it was meant to be the two of them.
Well, as someone who's seen, I think, the first 6 seasons or so, I think you could argue that if there was a main one out of the two, it is Jared Padalecki, but that they're in, yeah, as you said, they're in every episode together, so, like, it's hard to say that Jensen Ackles doesn't also get a lot of attention. But, you know, if you're asking just examples of times where you have a main character, but then another character kind of just sort of takes over because of their popularity, I'm not sure if I have any examples of that, but you definitely have examples of characters that get given more and more attention and time because of just how well they're
Because
played.
of popularity.
Yeah, and just people liking them.
But I am wondering, like, I feel like there's an example in my head of, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Bonzi and Urkel, or maybe Frasier would. I don't know if they count.
Well, Frasier got a spin-off though. That doesn't feel like the same idea.
That's why I said I
It'd
don't know
be
if
like
they count.
the idea of a character essentially taking over in that show rather than getting a spin-off show that lasts longer and is more popular. I mean, I guess an interesting one is that in The Simpsons, really, originally, the main character was Bart, but then it shifted to Homer, but that happened pretty quickly. Like if you were to rank The Simpsons characters in terms of, I guess, who is the protagonist if you had to pick one instead of the whole family.
Yeah.
Initially it was Bart, but really it's been Homer for most of it. But that feels like it happened so early on that I'm not sure that I would count that. Spike, no, because Buffy's still the main character.
Yeah,
She's
Spike
still
doesn't
the lead.
take over. But he does develop from.
Spike becomes more popular, sure, and gets more time for sure. And similarly, Angel doesn't count because that's a spin-off. I don't think that quite counts in the spirit of the question. Randy? Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Randy might be one of the clearest examples of that. Randy is as main a character as the boys. He might actually even be more of a main character than they are at this point. Yeah, that's probably a really good example. Because Butters never quite took over. Butters feels like he got essentially elevated to being main cast, whereas Randy essentially became the protagonist.
Yeah.
Which, I will say, as much as I love Randy, I don't like that. I think it should always remain Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny.
I think that we could do with a few episodes of POV for Randy, but that, yeah, he shouldn't be taken over.
He shouldn't be.
Because he is hilarious.
Yeah. Bo-Katan?
Oh, no.
Oh, maybe. By the time we hit season 4, maybe.
She's the main character of season 3. Mando's just there. She's the one who's got all of the relevant things happening.
Yeah. A bit for your hard editing work on Lord of the Rings. Also, before you get rid of the Gollum clip, please save that segment and post it after the main premiere as EFAP movies Lord of the Rings, Gollum's Revenge. I could show. It's not like it probably won't be that interesting. It's gonna be what you see in the regular one. It's just random fucking Gollum footage is gonna be on, which is funny.
Yeah. But not that funny.
But you know, yeah, we could still show you it, I suppose. When I was listening to Halo Reborn... Oh, wait, I read that one out, sorry. What are each of your favorite serious lines from a more serious movie?
Oh, dude. I feel like
a more serious lines from a more serious movie.
I mean, the thing is, like,
That's too many.
that's not that's what I'm trying to say is like that's almost the normal question of favorite movie lines, because most of my favorite movie lines are from serious films.
Yeah, do they mean from more serious movies?
I guess
Maybe
they
that's
just mean like non-comedies or strictly like, because I think even Lord of the Rings would count, right?
I don't like being put on the spot because there are so many examples that I'm going to be annoyed now by whichever choice I pick, because there'll be another one that I'll remember and be like, no, wait, I like that one more.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's going to be loads of generic answers, and by that I just mean famously awesome lines. It's funny, I'm thinking to myself, like, what would be one of my favorite lines from Lord of the Rings? If I had to pick one.
Well, yeah, picking one from Lord of the Rings might be a good way to, since it's on our minds at the moment.
I think mine is going to be share the load. I've always had a particular fondness for load sharing. Always pretty good.
But yeah, my mind
I'm
goes
just
to
gonna
the
go with
speeches from Sam and Gandalf and different characters talking about like why we, the super meaningful shit in between like some of the bigger events of the films.
Well, yeah, like Aiden saying we will meet them in battle nonetheless.
Well, yeah, even like shouting death and they all like chant death. There's a lot behind that. You'd be like, that's just a word. You'd be like, I know, it's a really good word in that context.
I'd say I really like Vision's quote at the end of Age of Ultron. For all that movie's faults, it's got an incredibly good quote. A thing isn't precious because it lasts.
Beautiful.
A thing isn't beautiful because it lasts.
Yeah, same thing.
Close enough. And yes, it is an excellent quote. Hi Rags, Mauler, and Fringy. Just wanted to say, Mauler, your videos on Soma was what tipped the scale and got me to play it. I loved every second and haven't been able to go a day without Soma popping into my head. It'll do that.
Yeah, that's how it was for a while.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Also, hi, yeah. I did watch Drinker's video. That and you guys saying you liked it in a recent stream is what pushed me over the fence and put it on the old list to Rooney. That'd be
nice.
For the House of Usher, I imagine. Yeah, we easily recommend it. You'll have a lot of fun with it. Any chance Teach Bomber Guy's clumsy step into the React Wars will see coverage in any capacity? I don't think it would be any point in us covering his video on plagiarism or whatever. A lot of it is spent on a guy who just seems like one of the worst pieces of shit in YouTube history, and has since disappeared from YouTube, so...
has he not made a statement or anything yet?
No, I think he did put a Patreon post up, but he's skedaddled. He grabbed the bag and ran.
Which probably the smartest thing to do if you're looking to...
Legit one of the best options for him, because recovering from that absolute nuke that was sent his way is going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going through the God of War games again, almost done going through Ragnarok. What are y'all's spoiler-free thoughts on Valhalla? Well, the problem is that me and Fringy are pretty early in the game. What I would say is that I'm having plenty of fun with it, and I really, really appreciate what they've done, especially considering it's free. If you want to see Fringy's thoughts on it as he's played so far, you can find it on Dubious Sanity, the channel on Twitch. And then for me, just go to my playlist for gaming, and I've got 2 streams on it so far. Funnily enough, the latest one got fucking cut off by the internet doing its thing. It was funny, about a minute before I was going to end the stream, it happened as well. I was like, I guess that's the end of the stream then. Bye. I haven't watched any of Mike Flanagan's work yet, sadly. It's all on the watch list based on your recommendations only. I'll get through it soon enough. Man, imagine having Hill House, Blind Man, and Midnight Mass, all the House of Usher to watch. A lot of good stuff in there. G'day, Mauler. Will EFAP cover Godzilla -1? Don't know yet. That's the kind of thing where we need to see it and then, be put on the maybe pile. I know a lot of people would like to see it covered because of, I've seen a lot of people pick it for their favorite movie of the year, so. Not bad. Davis said that the regen split timelines, so all doctors exist in their own timeline, so I guess the retcon can be whatever they look like now. Also, hi Rags. Yeah, every Doctor that regenerated is now split into another Doctor across all of time or something. I've had it. Someone try to explain it to me. I think Gary, and I just it gets to the point where someone's adding so much lore to this very established thing that I'm just like, you're just making all this up. I don't care. Like, and it's like, no, that's the main writer, and I'm like, no, they're just making it all of it up. I just don't care. Like, it's indistinguishable from reading someone's fucking comment on a video that says post your fanfic in 5 words or some shit. Like, hearing that the Doctor's duplicated across all of time and every regeneration, I was like, I'm not even going to entertain trying to understand what the fuck you mean by that. Some help for not being able to monetize your hard work on the Lord of the Rings EFAP movies. Also, I sometimes have flashes of an Avatar 2 EFAP that doesn't exist. I think I've been watching too much EFAP. Well, thank you very much. And that's a phenomenon that's happened before. There was the war movie arc and the war movie being talked about. Someone said, like, oh, I think Mask of Zorro's in it. And then someone else in the thread or the forum, whatever it was like, no, they've done Mask of Zorro. Someone else was like, no, they haven't. They're like, yeah, they have. They've done EFAP movies, Mask of Zorro. There's like, go search it up. And he did. He was like, wait, I'm almost certain they did it. It's just like, yep, you can sometimes imagine things that we haven't actually done. It happens. It's all right. After Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Last Samurai is probably my second favorite movie of all time. I cannot wait for next August. Thank you all for this. They're on the way. Hope you very much enjoy all of it. Does this mean we get a Channel Awesome arc eventually? Kikassia, Suburban Knights, Boldly Flee, and the Lightbringer? I mean, the Green M&M. I mean, atop the fourth wall. Hi, Rags. Hi, Froggo. Sup, Moolah.
Hello.
And we will probably do that eventually. Yes, I could definitely see. I want to see Rags and Fringy watch the Channel Awesome movies. Assuming Fringy, you haven't seen any of them, have you?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
really
that'll be fucking. That's potent cringe right there. Thanks for all the insane hard work. Would you consider doing a TLJ retrospective on its 10-year anniversary? Maybe an EFAP movies. Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
What could possibly
potentially.
happen?
Yeah, considering it's basically the movie that made EFAP happen, we actually owe it quite a lot.
Yeah, it was a great starting point. If I ever had a course on movies, I might make that like a whole semester or some shit. Like, let's look at the not just TLJ but Star Wars, right? It's like so fascinating to look at as a whole. Certainly culturally as well.
Absolutely, definitely a watershed, movie when it comes to reviews and stuff.
1992 space movie breakdown when? I don't know if you've done this before, but I'm so used to that comment now. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm probably not. No, probably not going to review that one. Maybe one day though. Doctor Who Therapy Fund. Thank you very much. Bring, have you seen the GTA 6 trailer? If so, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I saw it. It's a cool trailer, but I mean, like, it's not coming out for 2 years, and I didn't get to see any gameplay, so... Yeah, I mean, graphically, it's kind of like almost unbelievable. Like, and I mean that in a more literal sense of I wonder.
Like, it not believable? Like, I don't believe you?
I don't know if it's that. It's more so just like you shooting for a target that's even possible on these consoles. Like, I don't know, that was like super graphically impressive to the point that I'm almost wondering if. But then again, we might have like mid-generation console refreshes by then, so maybe. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool. It makes sense that they're going back to Vice City. Even though I think I'd still, in my mind, I'm like, man, it'd be interesting if we like went to a totally new place in Grand Theft Auto. It's been a long time since we've seen Vice City, and we haven't seen it in the modern day, or the rest of like the rural areas that are surrounding it. So it'll be a cool setting. But there's a part of me that makes me wonder as well, like, wouldn't it be cool if we got like a new fictional city, like maybe Chicago or something? But then there's also just like the reality that it's been over a decade since Grand Theft Auto 5. It's been, 15 years since Grand Theft Auto 4. It's been nearly 20 years since San Andreas. It's been a really long time since the GTA that I like and am most fond of has existed. So even though there's an element of, oh yeah, it'll be cool, like new GTA, there's also an element of, I don't really know what a new GTA looks like anymore because it's been so long. It's been so long since the last one, and the gaps have gotten longer and longer and longer. It's a different time. It's a different era of Rockstar. There
certainly
is an
different
element
gaming
of
environment now.
trepidation, I suppose you could say. even though I'd obviously really like for it to be good, there is also an element of like, we'll have to wait and see. But it's a cool trailer. It's a really good trailer. But yeah, that's about it.
A shilling for the meter. Thank you very much. What's your thoughts on the concept of a society of the same people from different universes monitoring the multiverse?
That's a sneaky across the Spider-Verse question there, that one.
Oh.
Well, I would say that if you don't set up and establish your rules, and if you don't have a bunch of characters in this hypothetical organization that would, believe all the claims made by the organization, you could run into some really huge
Yeah, that's the kind of
problems.
thing you got to build that up from the ground level of exactly how everything would work and how the people there would have ended up the way that they are.
About the implications that stem across the entire multiverse, I would say as well, because the multiverse is really big,
Yeah,
very big.
Definitely could work though. You'd need a decent amount of work to make it work though.
And hypothetically, it may have worked. Possibly it's in some movie that existed, or it may not have worked in a movie that exists right now. But
the shortest stream being a two-parter. Oh, there's irony in there somewhere. Yes, and the fact is, it would have been over by now, but you guys keep sending messages in. You horrors. You mean old chatters. You. Also, hi Rags.
Hello.
EFAP starts calm, stops panic, restarts calm. Oh, that's the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scary thing. That
Mueller, I hope the stream doesn't go down. You got jinxed. I assume that's the last thing you guys heard from me before it went down. Yeah. The eucatastrophe gets its power from the journey. If the journey is cheap or no effect put in, then the happy ending has no power or relevance. Even I get what you're saying. Like the implication is, of course, that like you could make that ending for Doctor Who work if they had actually like put in the effort. But I think there'd be people who are very distinctly unsatisfied with it, no matter how well you justified it. It's just it feels at odds with everything that's come before it. That's one of them thematic things. It does happen where the story itself could go in a direction, but it's like, yeah, but you've been telling us this other thing this whole time, so gotta keep that in mind when you make these stories. Watched Godzilla -1 and the first South Park movie yesterday. Both were good rat. Yeah, I mean, easy recommendation for the South Park movie, and -1, gonna see it. Gonna happen. Hey Mola, Fringy, and Hi Rags, I've been watching your past EFAPs and I'm on the floor dying of laughter. My favorites are Star Wars and the Karen movie. Keep up the great work, and happy holidays 199.
Yeah, you too. Happy holidays.
Yeah, and yeah, the Karen EFAP was completely random and it was funny as hell. I definitely wanted to make a sequel to that, but I guess we're not going to be that lucky. Favorite of the 4 main kids in South Park? Cartman.
Yeah, so like if I were to rank them from my favorite to least favorite, it'd be Cartman, it's a toss up here between
Stan and Kyle is tough.
Stan and Kenny. Yeah. Well, Stan and Kenny was actually the toss up I got there.
Kenny's my least favorite just because I get the least entertainment. I like Kenny, but I'm more engaged with the characters of Kyle and Stan.
Kenny's got like a few specifically really great episodes. Those are kind of the things that that tip him over the edge a little bit for me. I think, but then again, I really like Stan. So I think my list would probably be Cartman, Stan, Kenny, Kyle. That would probably be the list. Yeah, Cartman's the best. He's South Park's best character. And if we included Butters in the list, then it would be Cartman, Butters, Stan, Kenny, Kyle, because Butters is also one of the best characters.
Pretty goated, I might say.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Black Mirror episode White Christmas was partly inspired by Soma. There's some similar occurrences and ideas in both. That's the one that I think I've seen, that Christmas episode, and yes, there are some. There's good stuff in Black Mirror from what I hear, but I don't know how it's doing in the recent stuff. I haven't heard as much praise. There's a deleted scene to White Christmas that even the director thought was too tragic to include. Look it up if you're curious. Oh, all right, interesting. Hey Massives, I recently watched The Prestige and Interstellar back-to-back and had pretty much opposite experiences. The rivalry between Borden and Angier is excellent, and the performances of Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman are perfect. The movie has so many interesting things to say and explore regarding how far you're willing to go to achieve greatness. In short, I loved it. It has cemented itself as one of my favorite movies ever. Interstellar, on the other hand, was absolutely horrendous. Between the using love to travel nonsense and the main character just straight up forgetting about his son, the movie's writing is horrific. However, the visuals were great, and Matthew McConaughey delivered an unreal performance. But good visuals and great acting is not enough to save a terrible script. The Prestige is definitely Nolan's best movie, and Interstellar is definitely his worst. Thanks for recommending it, Mubes. Also play Little Nightmares. I'm not even sure I necessarily think Interstellar is his worst. I need to see Tenet, right? That's the big one.
Yeah, Tenet's got time
I have
travel,
not
right,
seen
so-
it. That came out at a weird time.
And all I've ever heard about Tenet is that it's a film that doesn't make sense. That's the film.
That is all I've heard about it.
It's
Yeah,
like-
no one knows what it's about.
Interstellar
Okay.
doesn't make sense either, though.
No, so that's the thing. I don't know what would happen if I was to watch them, but I align quite a bit with some of the things said there about the strengths and weaknesses of both, and it is crazy that they were made by the same guy. There we are.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Linkara is butthurt about the running meme and many other silly things. He comes across as a guy with zero chill. Yes, he seems very, very takes everything very seriously kind of person. Which I guess that's what makes it so funny. Unrelated, but thoughts on regular show. I haven't watched it.
I don't know.
I watched this amount of it. I like it. It's a funny show. Good memes.
All right. Red Letter Media Mike loves Midnight Mass a lot. Well, loads of people. Midnight Mass is probably the most critically acclaimed of all of Flanagan's shows.
Seems to be, yeah.
You know,
Shame that.
That's okay. As I said at the time, I think it's what I'll take from it is just it encourages people to give him more work, which is fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
Not our favorite. Our favorite is Bly, which is also an unpopular take.
Yep, because Bly is his best show and Midnight Mass is his worst.
That's Midnight Club.
Midnight Mass.
Oh yeah, Midnight Club.
right,
I don't know
yeah.
anything
Well,
about
I
that
haven't
one. I
seen
haven't
that.
watched it.
Well, so I wouldn't recommend you guys see it, but the question, of course, would have been, would I have recommended you guys see Midnight Mass if I'd watched it before? He was like, probably not.
That's a tough one. It's really tough to recommend Midnight Mass.
There's lots of good shit in there, but that ending is so fucking annoying.
If you ended at episode 5, but you wouldn't want to end at episode 5, that's
No.
the thing. You'd want to keep going. Yeah.
Eating butt is good for you, vitamin C and protein too. All right. Fair enough.
I
Yeah,
do love
okay,
me some
thumbs up.
vitamin C.
If anyone calls you Buddy, the proper response is, my name is not Buddy.
No, I'm not your buddy, friend.
Buddy, friend.
But I'm not,
not
your
your buddy,
friend,
pal?
guy. I'm
Guy,
not your.
pal?
Oh wait, no, it's not. It's guy. It's friend, buddy, guy, isn't it? That's the order. I think it is. It's like, don't call me buddy. I'm not your buddy. Oh wait, hold on. Don't call me buddy. I'm not your buddy. He's not. What? No. Yeah. He's not your buddy friend. He's not your friend guy. I'm not your guy. I'm trying to. Or did they change the order around?
I thought it was
can't
just
remember
3.
if there was a fixed order. It's buddy, friend, and guy. Yeah. I'm not your buddy guy. He's not your
buddy
guy,
guy.
friend. I'm not your friend, buddy. Yeah, there. I think that's the order. Friend, buddy, guy. There we
Alright.
go. Got it.
Darth Vader saving Luke is my favorite moment in Star Wars. Where would you rank this scene in your top gives chills moments in Star Wars? Oh, that's probably number 1, actually. Everything to do with the throne room scene. That's what people often say, right? Because there's a couple of moments being that and Luke's decisions and everything else. That's Star Wars at its peak right there. That's and it's all built on 3 movies. It's a fucking excellent scene.
I'm not mixing it up. I know that my name's not Buddy is from The Incredibles. I'm just saying
He's
that
picking the South Park reference
I'm
over
picking
Incredibles.
the South Park one. Yeah, yeah. You're confused, is what happened there.
What's the gang's thoughts on Flanagan's Midnight Club? I was pretty disappointed with it. What are Fringy's thoughts on Crash Twin Sanity? Midnight Club was disappointing, yeah. It's not very good, and I wouldn't recommend it, but it's still solid enough as a TV show. Like, it's just nothing special as far as I'm concerned.
Crash Twin Sanity, if it was finished, it probably could have been really good, but it's not. It's not a finished game. It's I like Twin Sanity. I like it. That feels like that was an interesting game because that was the one that kind of like redefined Crash's tone for a little while. because only for a little while though, because that was after, because it was Wrath of Cortex, then Nitro Kart, and then Twin Sanity kind of reinvented Crash into kind of like a comedic, a much more like comedic thing for a couple of games, and then they did and then what was they did Crash of the Titans. So Twin Sanity is probably like the last one that I like, because I don't like Crash of the Titans really. I don't like what it was. I don't like that really felt like their fuck, that happened if you in the 2000s sometimes when they're like, we got to reinvent it to make it more like edgy. Crash has like these tattoos and stuff, and he's more unkempt and everything. It's like, yeah, look at him. That's cool, Crash, not like lame Crash that everybody likes.
Would you prefer everyone trying to reinvent themselves to be more edgy, or like a sludgification of a lot of projects trying to chase all the trends now?
Well, the thing is that the edginess was chasing trends. I think that's what happened in Crash. Not Crash, Sonic. I like Sonic in the Genesis games. I like classic Sonic. I like classic Sonic a good deal, actually. I like the design. I like that he doesn't talk and that his personality is conveyed through body language. I like that. But then when they reinvented, Sonic for like Sonic Adventure to have him talk, and it's like, look at how radical and tubular he is. It's like, fuck, you ruined him. You kind of did. Which I know I'm pretty sure that's like Sonic fans like newer Sonic, but like, nah, I like classic Sonic. And I don't know, I felt like the same thing there with like Crash of the Titans. It's like, yeah, we gotta like mix it up. We gotta do like a refresh. We gotta make Crash more appealing to, I guess, like teenagers. But now we're at a point where we kind of recognize that like, oh, people liked Crash for what he was. There's no need to change him into something that he isn't, or change that world into something that it isn't. Crash is Looney Tunes. It's not like trying to be like some edgy, edgy but safe edgy, because they still want it to be like an all ages game. Yeah. And that was the one that changed it so that it wasn't about platforming, but changed it into it was more like an action game. Because you'd like control like monsters essentially and just have them fight monsters, and it's like, man, okay, I like platforming. It's the reason why I really like Crash 4, because that very much felt like for the first time in like 20 years that we had a direct continuation of the gameplay formula of the PlayStation games. Like it or love it or hate it, even though I don't think anybody really hates Crash, hopefully. That's what I like. And I'm sad that we're never going to get that again, because Toys for Bob got gutted and turned into a Call of Duty support studio. That's so fucking lame. Isn't that so lame how many games have essentially been sacrificed on the altar of Call of Duty? Activision used to make other video games.
Now it's just a Call of Duty Warzone machine.
Remember those Transformers games? Because Radical doesn't exist anymore. They made good old Simpsons Hit and Run. And they made Prototype, which was cool. And then they got gutted. And then like the High Moon Studios, right? They made the Transformers games, and then they got turned into Call of Duty support. And now you look at the logo for the new Call of Duty, it's like, 10 studios had to work on this. But hey, at least you got the boy skins for Call of Duty Warzone, huh? That's worth it for no more games ever. Except for Call of Duty. Sorry, rant over.
EFAP ends when we let it end. Also, hi, Rags.
Hello.
Please wish Chuniko a happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Chuniko? Oh, happy birthday, Kuniko.
No, what?
You said please wish Kuniko a happy birthday.
Sure, yeah. Mando Season 3 has confirmed the Data Sludge EFAP meme. Data Sludge?
What's that? Data Sludge?
I'm not 100% sure what that meme is. We have about 1,000 memes, so, it can be hard to track. Watch Patrician TV's Starfield analysis.
I did. I've been watching Patrician TV's videos. Is Fallout 76, is Skyrim, and his Starfield videos. They're very good. Would highly recommend. Also, I think he's welcome to come on EFAP, unless he's done something dastardly. Because I think, I really think that we gel well talking about
I
stuff.
saw people link his Starfield video. He referenced Crimson Cringe, which is something that I coined in Solo, the video on that, because what were they called? The Crimson something?
Solo? Oh, the Crimson... Oh, the Crimson Hand or something?
It's
The
something
Crimson-
lame. But yes. Sing this like a happy jingle. So the jingle is Molar is a long man, Metal is a fleam, Fringy is a bird, and Rags likes peen.
Not sure I can remember that.
I mean, it's been said, and that, you know what? That's good enough, because we're running very, very short on time. What's your top 10 most loved... Fucking hell. Top 10 most loved movies / TV / video games, 10 each, and what's your top most hated TV shows, video games? You're trolling at this point, and I know you are.
Yeah,
so, and I know that you're familiar with plenty of our favorites. You know the answer. We've only got 6 left right now, okay? Molly, you sound like you have a Wales Valley accent. I'm glad someone finally thinks I sound Welsh. Like, there's a few of you in the world. Will you guys EFAP the new Cinematic Venom Lord of the Rings video? Also, can we get the longest no ever from Fringy? Well, as the first question, maybe.
I don't know what my longest no would be, but I figure no is probably sufficiently long to be the longest one.
Thoughts on the fall of the House of Usher? We were all rather happy with it. Pretty solid. Got a couple of criticisms here and there. Want to know more? I did a stream with Nina Infinity on her channel all about it. We will likely do something with it someday in the distant future, maybe. But mostly we just recommend it for anybody who's a fan of Flanagan stuff. Also, when do you guys think the fictional character quiz show will be out, roughly? No expectation exactly on that. It's difficult to get a lot of things in place right now, but there's a lot of EFAP episodes we'd like to do, and that's going to be one of them. If you guys had to pick from the 3, which would you rather have as a mainstay in the world? Mario, Pokemon, or Sonic?
Mario. Easy. That's easy. That is an easy question.
They said
Mario games are fun and interesting. Pokemon games are the shitty one over and over, and I don't care about Sonic.
They said they would guess Mario, but they're still curious on the answer. And
fair enough. But yes, it's Mario.
It's not even close to me.
No, I do really like the Genesis Sonic games, but yeah, like, that's easy. Mario, absolutely Mario. Too many good games, and then if you include all the spin-offs, of course. Even if it was just the 3D Mario games or just the 2D Mario games, yes.
It's Shuniko Rag.
Shuniko Rag.
There you go.
Happy birthday, Shuniko.
Yes. 20 minutes, and then it will be not be the shortest EFAP. We're going to finish before that, I'm sure of it. No, it shall not end. It can't end. More FAP. Gotta go. The trailer's premiering anyway, okay? You guys can enjoy that. $5 wasted. Shake my head. So why would you send another super chat to say that dollars have been wasted? That doesn't make any sense. You're
interesting.
You're trying to be a mean old, but besides, I was going to say, even in a normal, like if we had infinite time, answering top 10 most loved and most hated movies, TV shows, and video games, no way we would have done that, like in any context. It'll take fucking ages. Hello there, long man. Fresh goo from the Toxic Brew from for Fringu, and of course, Scritches for the good boy. Have you seen White Lights Prototype 3 story vid? Have yourselves a wonderful day. No, I have not.
I have not seen it.
I haven't, but I might throw that on.
Yeah, it could be fun. Greetings, just wanted to show support. Fringy, will you be able to see Godzilla -1? It's only at 70 theaters in Australia based on Box Office Mojo. Found you guys through Drinker a year ago. Love you guys. Cheers.
I want to see it, and but I also want to see The Boy and the Heron. But now that I'm done with editing, that should give me an opportunity to go see one or both of those films. I'd like to see both of them.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to try and see both of them as well, and then I imagine Rags will see them based on if we highly recommend.
I would like to see them both. I would like to see them both. But if you see them before me and you say that one of them sucks balls, then I'm gonna try to avoid it.
Short is cringe, not gonna lie. True. But you'll be getting plenty of long soon to come. Now with that, that's the last message. And in about 7 minutes, the trailer will premiere, the one that we watched on this very EFAP. So that you guys can check that out, talk about it, and get excited and hyped for things to come. I'll post that in the old chatteroonie as well.
Well, I think you missed one. Isn't there one more?
Well, hang on. They don't all come in. I always do that's the end, then do the ending things, and then answer the last, and then cut it off. That's the most efficient way to do it. The amount of streams I've been a part of with the people hosting, and this includes Drinker and like Real BBC here and there and stuff, but like they'll be like, and that's the last one. You see one come in, and it's just like. You're like, oh no, that poor guy. But yes, obviously there's not really any updates to give because that's kind of what this EFAP was, discussing all of them. So if you want to know more and more about what happened and everything, I'll be uploading this onto Moolah as the next episode soon enough, so you can go back through it. And yeah, Wednesday, we'll see you all there. It's gonna be wonderful. I'm certain of it. The people who made RoboCop should make a Last Action Hero game. Also, why did Captain Porkins scream, "I'm all right," even though he wasn't? He was trying to assure his team. He thought he had it under control, but he didn't. I think I'm having a little trouble here. He was a hero. But yes, the RoboCop people should make more stuff. That game was a lot of fun. It was unfortunate. Drink has been playing on PS5, and he said he's been having loads of crashes. I didn't get many on PC. I think I had 1 or 2. Same for Az, but...
That's been happening more. I remember it's something that people used to say in console versus PC arguments of like, oh, well, consoles, you're not gonna get as many crashes. It's like, well,
how the tables have turned.
Oh yeah, I mean, Spider-Man 2 crashed to me like 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Alrighty. And that's that, folks. See ya for the next episode. Toodle pip, cheerio.
And, yeah, Lord of the Rings on the way. Woohoo! Yeah. All right. Yeah. Catch you later, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Yippee,
See ya.
Anakin, yippee.
Oh no.